Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, hello and welcome back to Start the Week on this Tuesday afternoon with me, the Welch Report. Yo, excuse Jean-Luc Welch with me on the Welch Report with yo, Jean-Luc Welch. Thank you so much for tuning in and listening. Make some noise. Yes, sir, clap it up. Get excited. Oh, we are back with another action-packed show for you like we do every single week on this podcast on YouTube, every podcasting platform. We got a lot to discuss over the course of the weekend. My goodness, since the last time we've convened, this fight with Canelo versus Crawford has gone from just hype to now legitimate. It's going to real. It's just the temperature done got turned up a couple notches with this fight. Especially with now it getting physical, with confrontations now becoming, hey, it's legitimate, but it is pushing, they're shoving, and there's going to be intricate views on all the ins and outs of what's going on leading up to this fight. We're going to talk about it all. We're going to talk about the shove. We're going to talk about the mentality. We're going to talk about how Canelo feels. We're going to talk about how Crawford feels. We're going to talk about what fans should be now expecting with the fight, essentially amping up to another level, another threshold. Oh, yes, indeed. It's getting excited here in these streets, and we are excited for that when it comes to one of the biggest fights of the year. No question about it. And we got so much. We got Wilder, who's coming back to boxing this weekend. All we need to understand, should we have our hopes potentially muted a little bit for what we should expect from the bronze bomber himself in what might be his final outing in the ring to really show that he's still got one more run left in the tank, and so much more on this show. We got news with Inoue. We got news with Zepeda versus Shakur. Some words that Zepeda says, what he wants to do to Shakur. All of this and more we're going to talk about right here on this show. So please stick around. We got a lot to discuss. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening. And if you would, go ahead. Leave a like on the stream. Hey, go on and do it. Leave a like. Get the algorithm seeing that we got the best show, the hottest show in all the globe happening right now. Comment your thoughts and opinions in the chat down below, and we can have your voice be heard on the entirety of the show. It is a conversation like with Jay Riggs. Hey, brother, how you doing? Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in to the Welch Report. And please, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Go ahead and hit the notification bell so you know whenever we post on this show for any given time throughout the week, so you're always informed with what we got going on in the hottest community on YouTube. And please share the show with everybody that you know so we can keep on building up this empire together. Yes, indeed, it's all thanks to you and your support that this show is possible. Y'all been growing it for so long. Again, y'all been sticking around this long. I appreciate it. Y'all must think I'm worthwhile listening to. Hey, I'm gonna keep up that same energy, that same old fervor. And also, if you don't mind, since we are a show, this is all I do for now. This is my job. If you could, please, Cash App, PayPal, links in the description as well. If you could support the show, anything would be worthwhile. And if you do send something, please put it in the chat so I can see it. Because right now I'm still trying to make sure I get everybody's. If you do send money, want to be able to acknowledge you like you deserve. Absolutely. So please send it. You send something. Just send what platform you sent it to, and then boom, I can go check it and then acknowledge you for it. Absolutely. But with all of that being said, your support is warranted. Your support is hopefully given, and we do appreciate all of you being here this afternoon. But without further ado, we got a lot to discuss. All that self-promotion aside, we got boxing to cover. We got fights to take place. We can also talk about the NBA Finals as well, with OKC being the champions. We're going to say that for the latter half of this show. But we got boxing to talk about first and foremost. We got Canelo versus Crawford, and we got the whole world of the fight game to discuss. So without further ado, it is time to step into the ring. Oh yeah, that's right, ring the bell. Let's get it started. Round one of this show going underway. No, wrong button. There we go, as we got to discuss the biggest fight of this year. Now taking a turn for the absolute, how do we say, insane and indeed incredible and indeed impactful with this fight, with Canelo Alvarez shoving Terrence Crawford at the weigh-in. Not the weigh-in, at the most recent press conference this past weekend. Oh my gosh. Hey, oh my goodness. This is what I want. This is what we've been craving. This is the type of animosity we are looking for when it comes to this type of spectacle fight. And I can pull up the clip, excuse me, right now, so you can have a clear and present visual as to what exactly took place on this weekend and why this is indeed such a exciting and let's just say, let's call it what it is, a drama-filled type of event. This is great. This is phenomenal. And mind you, there was some concerns with the how do we say, the doggedness of Terrence Crawford in the first time that they were facing off against each other, due to Terrence, for some people, having a level of, I don't want to call it fear, but more so unease. The normal Terrence that we see in the ring as to, in terms of what normally takes place with them. That was, hey, people were saying, hey man, where's that same dog that you're supposed to always have? Where's the brother that we know is a killer? He wasn't really showing it in that first face-up. Now, mind you, I wasn't saying that. This is the view of the boxing public. But now, that's out the question. No longer is that an issue. No longer is that a problem. Also, we got people in the chat. Hold on, before I show the video, let me get to read what you all in the chat have to say right now. Hold on, wait. I'm pulling up. I am pulling it up. Let's see, J Riggs, you can tell a lot about the power by the way a boxer shoves the other boxer on the break. And I feel Canelo couldn't shove Crawford back like he wanted. Kind of shows Crawford's bringing power legs. Hey, brother. Hey, man. All of a sudden, I'm not looking so crazy, am I? All of a sudden, I'm not looking so out of my mind when I was talking about there's some real concern that Canelo needs to have when it comes to this. But all of a sudden now, people are starting to see what I was saying when I was telling you all that Crawford is not a small cat when it comes to this fight with Canelo. I was telling y'all, and now some people are starting to, not J Riggs, not saying you agreed or disagreed, but others that were potentially detractors or saying, oh, nah, he's too small. I told you to watch out for it, because now look at you. Look at what's going on now. All of a sudden, people are starting to starting to have to dart their eyes back and forth, because they saying, oh, shoot. Oh, my gosh. This is unexpected. Also, Al Booger, what's good with you, brother? How you doing? Thanks for tuning into the show. We're so happy that you are here. We're so happy that you're around. Let me make sure that this microphone ain't peaking too loud. I don't want to blow out your eardrums. And I also want to make sure that I sound clean. But Al Booger, thanks for tuning into the show. Glad to see that you're here. I think Bomac ran through the whole Canelo team by himself. I thought he was the one for that brother was like, hey, look, that brother was like Larry Allen. That brother was like an O-liner. That cat was bowling through any and all opposition trying to get at Terrence Crawford. That cat was, for my football fans, that brother was a lead blocker. He was yeah, this brother was coming off the line and essentially left his main position to run in front of Crawford and bowl through whoever the world was about to come into his way. This was essentially a power run. That's what this was. What's that play they run in the NFL? I think it's also in Madden too. I think it's like Power G or something like that, where the guard wraps around the center and then starts running in front of whoever. Pull. That's it. That Bomac was doing a pull guard. That brother was pulling and getting ready to shove and absolutely destroy anybody coming in front. Anybody trying to come around that edge to get at Terrence Crawford for backing up and walking and trying to walk down the likes of Terrence Crawford. Oh, that's funny. That's funny. That's what I was saying. Shoot, that was funny. Oh, man. Bomac was about to smash Canelo Hotel. Yeah, but hey, brother, I'm telling you, that brother, he was a wall. Literally and figuratively. That brother was looking like a wall. Yes, he was. Oh, shoot. That's funny. But let me see. Oh, we got a lot of people in the chat earlier today. What's going on? Yo, Trey, how you doing? Good to see you. Thanks. Hey, for tuning in to the show. Yeah, play the show. Yeah, let me play it right now. I'm trying to read through so people can see. I'm so sorry. Here we go. Almost lost track of what I was going to do in the first. Here we go. Picture in picture. We got it all loaded up now. Oh, wait. I thought we did. We should anyway. Let me resize this to make sure that it is like it's supposed to. Hold on. Wait. Oh. I had this all set up yesterday. Hold on a minute. All of this was set up yesterday. There we go. All right. I think this is no. Yeah, I had it right the first time. Shoot, I had it right the first time. There we go. Then if I full screen this, then it should. Yep. All right. Yeah. There we go. Here's the shove for people trying to see. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to tease you all like that. I didn't mean to do that to you. It is a whole, it is some real animosity now, some real goading between two of the biggest stars in the sport right now. Oh yeah, and this is the Crawford that we have been waiting on, no question about from the standpoint of the aggression. I think there's another angle. Believe there's another angle that shows a better, here we go, here we go. I think this is the full screen version of it. See? And then Crawford kept on walking. Forward. Bomac blocking 5 people at once. I'm telling you. Put this brother in the league now. I'm talking he's a stud. Crawford got all the time he wants in the pocket. I mean, my goodness. Hey. He could take a Sunday shoot. Good gosh. No, Bomac was actually over everybody else. Man, but look. You see this? You see? This is the type of intensity that people were saying was lacking in the first fight in the first face-off with Canelo versus Crawford. More in the more closed environment out in Saudi Arabia. Now look at their faces. Look at the eyes. And again, Bomac, playing, but I'm telling you, brother, this brother's put him in he's an all-pro. Put him in the Pro Bowl because he is blocking everybody under the sun right now. But look at it. See, Canelo, you see Canelo? All of a sudden, there's a level of I don't believe this. And Crawford saying, yeah, I'm like that. Crawford, you know, this is what Crawford wants. And all of a sudden, Canelo, but he has now flipped the switch. You can look at it. We've seen this before from both fighters. When Crawford turns it on, this is when he says, yeah, I'm here now. Canelo, he wasn't like that earlier. Now, oh yeah, now out the gate, after that shove, after he's seeing Crawford was trying to, again, press him, all of a sudden now, he's in that state now. Oh, he's in that frame of mind. He is in that, he's here. That switch is flipped. The gear is shifted. Everything now is indeed what we wanted to be. And also, let me make real quickly. I do want to ask you all: is this screen? Does it fit? I've been trying to get this for a long time. Real quick, does the screen fit like it's supposed to? I've been trying to make sure I get it so that everything fits, but I don't want stuff to be cut off. But I just want to make sure that the screen fits like it needs to, so we ain't got nobody looking bad. Because last time we showed a clip, I didn't realize on the full screen. Oh shoot, we had Canelo and Crawford about on the other side of the doggone computer. Oh, he was bad. Okay, so we good. All right, thank you very much, Al Booker. But now, hey, let me hear from you all. Let's see what y'all gotta say. Cause my goodness, it's this is what we want. This is what we want. This is the moment. This is the time. This is exactly what we have been waiting on when it comes to this being a big fight field and going beyond the pale of just a spectacle. Everybody, ever since this fight got announced, has been saying that this is just a spectacle. It's just a money grab. There's no real fight. There's no real thing. It's only about the cash. But this is just for show. Ain't nothing really gonna happen. We're gonna see another Charlo type of fight. We're gonna see Canelo just do average stuff, and then bing bang boom. And we're all disappointed because wasn't really what we expected to be. But now we can't say that anymore. And I've been trying to tell people, get excited, because this is not what you think it's going to be. This ain't going to be just some ho-hum type of fight where everybody is just there seeing kumbaya and having themselves a grand old time over essentially what is a predetermined outcome, which is Canelo would win, which was the sentiment of most people. This is not that in the slightest. It's not. Not at all. Let me make sure that let me make sure real quick that everything is actually muted, because I've had times where stuff has still been playing in the background. So it's like I told y'all, get ready for this, and we're gonna have a talk with it. Actually, Bowman came in like he Honda, I'm telling you, he was coming in. He was coming in, but he took the show. I'm telling you, man, it's great. Who's that big boy from Police Academy? Man, everybody jump in the pool, just walking forward with crowd control. I forget his name, but he like that. I'm telling you, it's gonna be a must watch. Yo, Trey, you absolutely right. It's going to be a must-watch event for the whole of boxing and beyond to see now. Because now people, they now see that Crawford isn't going to be Charlo. Finally. This, or at least the predisposition of Crawford being like Charlo, now is no longer in the minds of a lot of people as a result of this press conference. The result of Crawford Canelo having to shove Crawford, because mind you, Crawford started walking him down. Don't forget that. I'll play it again. But Crawford started walking Canelo down now, which is why Canelo had to shove him back. It wasn't just because Canelo was just trying to, do a tank and go on and get in your head. No, Crawford instigated Canelo to get a reaction. And now it's on. It's on. I'm not gonna be a Charlo fight or Boo Boo Andre. No, it's not. Not in the sight. Let's see. Screen looks good. You move to your left a bit. Okay. All right. Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm gonna make that change right now. Behind the scenes while I'm still doing this with you all. But let me see your mouthpiece. What's going on? Peace and love to you, brother. How you doing? It's good to see you. Thanks for tuning in to the show. Peace. Gonna be a banger. Salute from Boston. Hey, but a salute from down south. We glad that you're here. Go on and leave a like on the stream. We got a lot to talk about, and we are happy that you are here. And go on and share the show, because we're gonna have a great conversation. Because let me play the clip one more time so I can give you all, or we can start. Essentially, I don't want to dissect the push, but I want to dissect more so the aftermaths and what started this and why exactly it's important. Because it is important that we understand that this, let me make sure I got it back. It's a salute from Houston. Good guys, salute from everybody. If you're from Houston, Atlanta, Boston, Dallas, again, we got people all around the globe. We got some people in the UK. We got some people over in, I think, Japan, Tokyo. We global. Oh, yeah, we growing. We might not look as big, but brother, we're growing. We're becoming a mogul. We are becoming a true empire. Oh, yes, indeed. And it's all thanks to you all. That's why I appreciate love from all around the world. But let me go back to this picture. I can show you all, or play rather, some of the more interesting bits of this shove. Because see, watch. They're walking down. They meet face to face. After they meet face to face, this is where things get interesting. Let me slow it down just a little bit. 0.5, I think 0.5. Now they're talking. They're John. Canelo, Crawford already came out of House on Fire. And then, as you'll see, Crawford starts walking them down. Crawford, about 3 steps. Crawford's taking it to him. And then Canelo pushes him. And then Canelo tried to shove him. But the shove didn't really push Crawford back that far. If anything, if this was a boxing match, Crawford would have still been in striking range and was able to withstand the power. of the show. In fact, there's somebody did a close-up of Crawford's feet on some of the clip. Crawford had actually switched his feet. He literally switched stances in the midst of getting pushed back to stay back in range, got back his balance, and continued to walk back. As you can see, even after the shove, Crawford, even after distance got made, the brother kept on walking forward. Now, again, I don't want to be one of those people that continue just to go and read into everything under the sun. We get that. That can be annoying at times. I completely understand. I'm not trying to be that. But what I am trying to be is to show you all that there's been times before we've seen stories of the fight essentially be told before the fight actually happens in the ring. This could be one of those times. Don't let it fool you. This could be one of those times that the story of what type of fight this is going to be just got showed in this essentially press conference, with Crawford actually going to try to walk down Canelo Alvarez. Hey, I'm so serious. And he will have more success than many people may want to give. We talk about the boxing ability. We talk about understanding the feet of Crawford can be the thing to give him the best chance to win, especially after we saw with Canelo and Williams. So we understand it. But now the power display, as much as we've been speculating, got put into action in this instance. And we now get to see, okay, what if Canelo actually tries to use his strength, what would that do to Crawford? We got a glimpse of what that would do. And that glimpse might not be as effective as we may believe, or as we may have thought earlier on with this fight. But let me keep on reading what you all got to say. We have a lot of people commenting. We have a lot of people chatting. I do not want to leave anybody out, no question. My gosh, because let me make sure I keep everything on the up and up. Hold on, I'm getting back to it. Yo, Miss Queen, how you doing? Good to see you. Thanks for tuning into the show. We're so happy that you're here. LR Vlogs, thanks again for you also coming in on the show. I'm about to read your comments, but let me just acknowledge everybody that's coming in right now. We're glad that you're here. Thank you so much for tuning into the show. Leave a like already if you're here, because my goodness, we got so much to discuss, and we're going to have a time today. I promise you that. But let me go back to the top. Let me read what you are going to say. Miss Queen, what you guys say? Canelo not on Crawford level. Watch, John. This will be a one-sided whooping. Ooh, so see, all of a sudden, now pendulum shifts again for public opinion, at least for some people, when it comes, not saying that you weren't already on Crawford's side for this fight, which I completely understand, but now even more so, you're steadfast in saying, Crawford, we were telling you, Crawford's like that, and y'all, to some degree, were disrespecting what this brother could do just because he was a quote-unquote smaller guy. Now you're starting to get a glimpse as to what we know Crawford is as a fighter. Absolutely. Without thinking they were actually fighting for foot position. See, it's a natural instinct. It's a natural stuff. Once you're in the game, everything bleeds into the makeup of this fight. There is you win the fight before you actually fight. It's a battle. It's a battle of the mind before it's a battle of the body. All of this, while it's, again, this interaction was physical, all of it is a mental toll on the opponents. We've seen Tank do it to people like Frank Martin. Got him fighting before he even got into the ring with Frank Martin. Next thing you know, boom, knocked him out with a similar feint that got this brother shelling up. Bing, bang, boom, knocked him out. We've seen the mental warfare, the fight before the fight. I think Teddy Ellis talked about this before. I think other shows have talked about this before on the platform, with YouTube, but it's the fight before the fight. It's so important. Why didn't Canelo stop Crawford like he did Caleb Plant? He knows Crawford will beat the brakes off him. Hey, now, I will say this. I think what set him off, Plant cussed him out, and he said he has some issue with what Plant had said. I don't know if Crawford said that or not. I don't know if he said something to push Canelo to that point. Though, again, he's been called like that before, and he hasn't done anything either. So I'm thinking, hey, shoot. If you were going to swing, swing. Now, it might be that they don't want to jeopardize anything with the fight. But I'll say this. If it gets to push that point, I wouldn't be surprised if somebody got swung on. I wouldn't at all. I would not know, but let me see. Vlogs, what you got to say? Canelo beats Crawford. Up, see, and we still got some steadfast fit. I understand, absolutely. We gonna have this debate more so with who beats who. No question. But the main point of this, at least for this segment, is now that we got to see the power firsthand in some degree face off against each other in a legitimate physical display of dominance, even though it might be subtle. Just get some insight into everything that we've been speculating, with the biggest aspect of this fight being power. Who truly has the advantage now? And I'm more than ever, I can't say that Canelo, has that same monumental advantage that we expect him to have going into this fight after this press conference. I can't. And most likely in further press conferences, this same thing is going to happen again. I promise you. And this time, Canelo's going to try to match him in kind instead of being taken aback. Because, understand, Canelo was not expecting Crawford to step to him like he did. He didn't. Let's be real. He did not. You saw it on his face. It was almost like a level of disrespect. How dare you? Who do you think you are? To quote Daniel Dubois, who do you think you are? Coming to me like that. Like I'm just some Joe Schmo. Brother, I'm Canelo. You don't step to Canelo. You don't walk down Canelo like you something big and bad, especially if you're coming up in weight. But I'm the face that runs the place. To quote AJ Styles from my wrestling fans, I'm the face that runs the place. I built this house that you're standing in. Don't come at me like I'm just some whatever type of cat. Like I'm just smoking mirrors. He took that as disrespect. That's why you saw the face change. In fact, there was somebody that got an interview with him after the press conference. And they were like, "Oh yeah, no, I'm turned on." From the standpoint of I'm ready to go. I'm locked in now. Even Turkey Al Sheikh was saying that, yo, after that shove, Canelo was hot, livid, mad, upset, completely. I mean, that brother was, he was mad. Mad like he was against Billy Joe Saunders when Saunders was talking all that mess. Mad like he would get when people keep bringing up David Benavidez. This week, I'm telling you, this is real. This is real. Now Caleb struck first. For that 3-piece Canelo game he played. Yeah, no, I think you're right. Yeah, that did happen. Let's see, Canelo get knocked out by Crawford mid-round. Easy work. Hey, look. Yeah. It's the ability for Crawford to actually stop Canelo, while it wasn't high on my radar, now it's something that I can't. Let me make sure I got this thing centered. Okay, there we go. Now it's something that I can't just ignore as a potential more than likely possibility. And by more than likely, I mean more than I want to give credit to. It can happen. Which I was not saying that at all. By decision, sure. Countering Canelo and making him, have to respect the power. Hey, that can win you the fight and cause you to be able to win a unanimous decision, hypothetically, even a split decision, but getting to the end. But knocking him out, it was on my prospect, but it wasn't a high prospect. Now, I gotta say, there's after this now, it's a more likely outcome than I may have expected on my tiers of what can happen in this fight if Canelo or if Crawford did win, if he did win. And so I'm excited. Bet me 1,000. Hey, brother, look, you're about to see odds on this fight go through the moon. Oh, I'm talking about you're going to see $10,000 bets on Crawford. After this, you're going to see $10,000 bets on Crawford. You're going to see this split all of a sudden go 50-50 down the middle. After this, I promise you, I guarantee you, money's about to be insane for this fight. And it's going to be incredible. Let me see. Canelo has power like a heavyweight. It's still a question if Crawford can bring the power to 168. You're right. You're absolutely right. Canelo or Crawford, the punching power, that Crawford brings to the table might not be the same at 168. Sure, it's unproven. We understand that. However, this gives us this interaction, as small as it may have been. It ripples throughout the boxing world because it gives us an insight, and it exposed a portion of the questions that we've been having about Terrence Crawford with what are you at this weight, or excuse me, what are you with this weight of you being at 168? How does your body handle, and what are your actual capabilities? It's only a glimpse, but this is a pretty substantial glimpse, especially when the first time we were having this whole discussion with power versus size, we were saying, hey, Crawford looks as big, but one of the concerns was baggy clothes, baggy shirts on Canelo's side, Crawford wearing tight-fitted shirts. Hey, maybe that can fool the eye. I said, okay, fine. Hopefully next press conference, they're a little bit more on an even playing field. But don't forget the clothing even playing field. They just went in straight up a power for power type situation. Literally, they literally went body for body against each other. And in this interaction, we got to say, I can't lie. I'd say Crawford might have won this first physical exchange if I'm being completely real. If I'm going to be objective, we got to say Crawford might win this initial physical exchange. So I'm just, it's a lot of stuff. Good gosh, oh shoot, I'm so sorry. I've had people commenting so much in my chat. Y'all commenting so much, my chat's not loaded up right. Wait a minute. Let me shut up and let me read what you all got to say. My goodness, Canelo ain't no heavyweight. He ain't. He's got great power. He hasn't knocked people out. He hasn't knocked anybody out since Caleb Plant. So I do have to say, maybe the power that we think Canelo might bring to this table is still going to be big, absolutely. But to a degree, we might be overblowing because he also couldn't knock out Charlo. Remember that. He also couldn't knock out Charlo. He knocked him down, but he still couldn't get him out of there. Now, Charlo was running. Charlo was not trying to engage. It's hard to fight. It's hard to KO somebody that is indeed running and only trying to survive and doing nothing else. We've touched on that also, but still wasn't able to knock him out. Let's give you a credence to some level of Charlo also ain't got the chin that we know Crawford has, even at its unknown weight of 168. We expect Crawford to have a better chin. So, might not be that we have as likely of a chance that Canelo knocks out Crawford, hypothetically. But again, let me keep on reading, because I do not want to miss what you all got to say. Something fishy about Lamont Welch versus Tank Davis. It's supposed to be limited, immediately rematch. Welch, what's immediately rematch? How long? Well, again, it's the date set for that fight for August 12th. So the rematch is August. It's in August. It's set in stone. Like it was signed to. It got officially announced. Everything been agreed upon. Both fighters are back in the gym. Both of them posting pics of them training hard. Lamont just posted a pic of him not him bloody, but his t-shirt bloodied up, showing how hard the training is. So the rematch is happening. It's on August 13th. I'm sorry. It's on August 13th. So it's happening at the end of the summer. That's concrete. So I don't think anything fishy is going on, because everything seems to be right now. It is signed, sealed, delivered, and it's going. It's happening. Fully announced promotional appeal. 16th. I'm sorry. August 16th. Thank you, vlogs. My bad. I'm thinking 10 miles. I'm thinking 100 miles an hour. I'm sorry. August 16th is when that rematch is going through. But it is happening. It is indeed going to happen. Absolutely. But good gosh, I am trying to breeze through all of these comments, because it is shoot. I'm sorry. Excuse me. I'm I'm trying to make sure I keep up with everything. But this is insane. This is ridiculous. But I love it. I truly do. We got, good gosh, all is still going. My goodness. Okay, hold on. Let me just say hi to people, and then I'm gonna start picking out chats. Just for the sake of to keep the show going. I don't mean to skip everybody. I don't. But y'all are, oh shoot, this is phenomenal. I love it. It's just y'all are almost going too fast for me to read. But let me say hi to some people who have joined into the chat. My gosh, like Jay, what's good? How you doing? Thanks for tuning in to the show. So happy that you're here. Let me see what you guys say. Bud ain't set any traps against Majimov at 154, and he's going to do that against Canelo at 168. Mind you, Canelo and Crawford or Canelo, we talked about this yesterday, and in the past, Canelo and Majimov are not the same fighter. Setting traps against Majimov is a whole lot harder than setting traps against Canelo, because stylistically, they are not the same. One is incredibly harder to read and react to. Even Virgil Ortiz had some trouble for the first 6 rounds fighting against the likes of Majimov. Genuine. Sick or not, he still had trouble. Or excuse me, Majimov, sick or not, Magimov still gave him some actual trouble to the Virgil Ortiz. Same thing he did with Terrence Crawford. This ain't just a fluke type situation, but Magimov is just hard to figure out. He's herky-jerky. Everything is a feint. Every movement of him is a feint. Him breathing is a feint. That's the issue. So you can't say anything because he gives you almost no window to really have a predictable track of what he's going to do next. His pattern is so erratic. That's the struggle. So you can't read him. You can't. And if you could, Crawford would absolutely set traps because he's done it against every other opponent today. And so he still beat him. And he's still turning into an infighting war. And he still won it soundly. So it's like, well, Canelo is a lot easier to figure out than the likes of Magimov. He's just incredibly more dangerous. Because stylistically, he's not nearly as nuanced per se with the style in which he fights as opposed to Magimov. But as a fighter, he's a better fighter. Sure, he's a more dangerous fighter, absolutely. But in terms of making a game plan, it's easier to make a game plan for the likes of Canelo than the constant unpredictability of a Magimov, because Magimov and Canelo are just two separate fighters. Absolutely. 154, he looked slow, and that's why I didn't challenge anyone at 168 and risk losing the bag. Yeah, you might be right. Now, I think it's because Magimov made him have to slow down, similar to Virgil Ortiz. Like I said, I don't think it's a situation where Magimov was, in fact, or Canelo, or Crawford, just wasn't able to be who he wants to be. I truly believe it's because Magimov was such a hard opponent to actually figure out that he forced the likes of Crawford to have to, hey, I can't just approach this like I normally do. Because we've seen Magimov do that with other fighters before that are also elite. So again, I don't think, now again, at 168, we're still saying you still got to show you ain't lost nothing. You still do. But regardless of which, we understand that the situations that made that fight look like it looked are vastly different. Because again, Canelo had a terrible time trying to fight against William Scott. He couldn't cut off the ring, was incredibly flat-footed, all that stuff. We're not going to hold that as to that's going to be a detraction in totality for this fight with Terrence Crawford. Because we know what Skull tried to do drastically drastically made Canelo have to fight the way that he fought. Though, again, he could have done better. Sure. Crawford could have done better. Sure. But still, cutting off the ring against Skull, who did not want to fight at all. Are we going to say that now that Canelo has lost the ability to cut off the ring? No, we ain't. Are we going to say that now he against movers, he's dead in the water? We're not going to say that. Because we've seen what he's done against almost every other fighter, even who's been a mover before. So, can't really use this as a fair assessment, in my estimation, because of the type of fighter that Magimov was. Now, see, most of y'all picking with your heart, and that's a recipe for disappointment. Maybe. Now again, at this point in time, I got Canelo. But especially after what we saw in this press conference, I'm starting to, this is getting closer to 50-50 for me than what I expected. Drastically quicker than what I expected this to get to from the standpoint of me potentially changing my pick. And it might be hard up ahead, but I think what we're seeing gives some real credence. Let's see, Plant was extremely disrespectful before the fight. During the battle, I guess he was. Okay, let me. I gotta keep on going. I gotta keep on going quick and in a hurry because y'all are breezing through. Going to Magimov. No, I didn't want to fight real competition. Like Benavidez, he's gonna get chin checked. Yeah, really lost. Andre, okay, still talking about Demetrius Andre. Still Canelo should took that fight. Yes, he should have. What's wrong with you people? No difference between wanting a guy to win and the probability. And again, wanting a guy to win, yes, and probability of him winning are completely different. But just because the likelihood of somebody not winning or somebody winning may be low, their execution to make that probability actually come to pass is dictated on the fighter. People were saying that Spence and Crawford, many people were saying that Spence, same argument, too big, too strong. Canelo can't, Crawford can't do anything against that, even when no matter how good of a boxer he is. All of a sudden, Crawford did the exact game plan that everybody said he wouldn't be able to do, to be able to knock out Errol Spence Jr., which was to counter Spence in between that big left straight that he always throws. And he did it. He countered him beyond that. He countered him all night long. Was in the pocket with him. even 8 shots with the brother, and walked out pure gold. And we said, don't go anywhere on the inside with Spence, or you're gonna die. Like most other opponents have done when they fought against the ring. Broken faces, broken bones, and they quit. Or they had to retire. Or put a bone broken, all that stuff. But with Crawford, he did the very thing that people said don't do or you're gonna lose, and he won. So if anybody was gonna be able to execute this low probability of winning that you or others may have, it would be Terrence Crawford. So we may not be picking with our heart as much as we are. We understand the buddy that we're seeing. So we know why us picking him ain't something that's so ludicrous and out the question. Genuine. And Crawford has a better resume. He's younger. Yeah, of course Canelo has a better resume. And he's younger. Yes. He's had 62 fights. We know the resume of Crawford of Canelo is insane. 62, 2-2. Marvin Hagler, same thing. Incredible. One of the greatest Mexican boxers that we've seen in history. The face of boxing right now, and right now, still one of the pound-for-pound best fighters in the world. No question about it. We're not detracted there. But that doesn't take away from the fact that we know he's in there with somebody that, hey, as much as there may be question marks surrounding Crawford in this fight, he can answer them because he's done it before on multiple occasions against other big-time situations. No question. But let me see. Good guys, we have a whole bunch of people commenting right now. Let's see. He's fighting Bud, who spent all of his career at 140, 147. Yeah. Don't forget, Marvin Hagler fought against Sugar Ray Leonard. Sugar Ray Leonard fought 135, 140. Berto Duran. Then 140, I think also 147. And he was great. Moved up to 168. Fought once. Took 3 years off. Then came back and fought Hagler immediately. And had one of the greatest fights we've seen in boxing. I feel Hagler won. But, brother, Leonard it was everything that we thought that fight would be. And more. And he has spent all of his time at lower weights, and Marvin Hagler has cemented himself as one of the greatest middleweights, if not arguably top 2 middleweight of all time. And had already beaten, Tommy Hearns and Duran. And so, we've seen this story before of people coming up. Lamar Roach, perfect example. Lamar Roach coming up from 130 to 135. We all said, hey, he's going to get destroyed against Tank. Also because we didn't see the talent being there as well going into that fight. Next thing you know, bing, bang, boom, Tank is in the fight of his life and gets a draw when he should have lost that fight. Somebody moved up in weight and actually gave him some work. This isn't something that, in a way, going up against Seven Fulton, the bigger, seemingly as fast, technically gifted boxer, who should have been able to go through and outbox any way that can come. He got outboxed by Inoue and then got knocked out with a height and reach advantage and a weight advantage. So great fighters do great things regardless of their weight class. Holyfield beat Tyson, moving up from cruiserweight. Holyfield beat George Foreman, moving up from cruiserweight. Though, again, George Foreman was older, but still at that point in time, he got back to a championship level and was still George Foreman. In an incredible fight, and he beat him. Moved again from cruiserweight, became champion, became undisputed, became one of the greatest heavyweights of all time, one of the greatest boxers period of all time. We have seen this story before, so we can't count it out. We can't count it out as much as we may want to because it is a dangerous situation. I'm telling you, it's a dangerous situation. But I am not trying to skip anybody. I am just trying to catch as many people as I can. Yo, let's wait. Hello, Jays. What's good with you? How you doing? Thanks for tuning in the show. If there's any hope thank you for tuning in, Allo Jays or Allo Jay-Z. Glad that you're here. Thanks so much. Please leave a like on the stream if you are here. We're having a great time. I am not trying to miss anybody. I am just trying to read through as much as I can, as quickly as I can. And while not skipping over people, still giving you all, the best that I can. But let me see if there's anything I hope Crawford has on fight night, it is his speed. Because for IQ, power, and skills, Canelo's even with Crawford are arguably more than Crawford in some areas. That can be a difference maker. If Crawford has a speed, and even then Canelo's got some great hand speed of his own. Let's not forget that Canelo has some fantastic hand speed on his within him when it comes to being able to catch people. And we saw what he did when he countered Edgar Berlanga. When he actually lets his hands go, it's a dangerous sentiment. We know he loves to load up on stuff, but we know when he actually lets his hands go, oh, it's something serious. Absolutely. But if Crawford could have a speed advantage and everything else, let's say hypothetically, everything else is even killed, or at least on a similar level, that can lead to say, that can make for a very interesting fight. But speed is definitely going to be a big factor. If Crawford, can keep the speed that he's had at 154, 147, 140, 135. If he can keep that, oh, absolutely. Even more. This can be interesting. This can be very interesting. I love when guys announce that they're leaving to go. Oh shoot, who? Somebody left? My gosh, I am not trying to. Lord, I'm not trying to leave. Oh wait, hold on. He called this a casual. Wait a minute. Oh, wait, hold up. Wait a second. Wait a minute. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. This is a casual chat. Wait a minute. Now hold on now. I take offense to this. Now I thought wait a minute. Wait. Now again, I'm not trying to skip anybody. Please, I am trying to read as much as I can. Y'all are commenting insane, which I love. This is great. But hold on. Now, but this is disrespect. This is just disrespectful. This is outright disrespectful. But this ain't no casual chat. Wait a second now. You can disagree. You can think that we're wrong. But don't act like we ain't bringing up stuff that is like, we know what we're talking about. We know what we're talking about. Look, if he ever comes back, and I'm sure he will, trust and believe, we're going to have this same level of quote-unquote casual talk all the time. Because apparently, we've been right most of the time when we've had these casual talks. Most of the stuff that we brought up has happened in these casual talks on fight night. So, hey, if this is casual talk, I'll take it. Because, brother, we may be talking casual, but we know what we're doing. I can tell you that right now. And again, this ain't no disrespect. Feel how you feel. But brother, this community, I don't know where you can go to other places and you can get some great information, no question. But I'm gonna tell you this right now, we ain't the hottest show in all the globe for a reason. Or for no reason. Brother, you stick around here, you're gonna learn something. Or you're gonna get opened up to something that you didn't expect. And watch, I guarantee you, if we're right about what happens on fight night, I hope he comes back. And see how casual we really are. Because I guarantee you, man, he's promise you, he's gonna find out real quick. Crawford too sneaky. He always finds a way to win. You have to expect more wins like this. Yep. Hey, look, we gonna see what happens. If he proves it, great. If he doesn't, chasing greatness is never an issue at all. He dropped all four. He's dropped all four except the Survivor. Let me see. Who am I thinking of? Oh yeah, no, Canelo. Yeah. Okay, yeah, no, Canelo. Yeah, he has dropped all four fighters, but he hasn't. But the people, except for the people, he dropped Charlo, he dropped Berlanga, he dropped John Ryder, and he dropped Munguia. He didn't drop William Scott. So except for William Scott, he dropped every other person, but he still wasn't able to knock him out. So again, he still got power, absolutely. He said, but one of the questions was, does he have the same power because he hasn't been able to put people away? As in like in the show. That's been the question. But knocking him down, yes, you're absolutely right. All except for Skull, he was able to knock down at least once in their fight. So yeah, you're absolutely right. And again, Al Booger, you brought it up greatly as well. Let's see, Jean, this is saying Canelo fans that don't pay attention to details, just like how they didn't notice you got a haircut. Hey, look, you can't expect everybody to do everything. Like we said, we don't We don't discriminate. Anybody can come through. We're all open for conversation, even for disagreement. Now I don't take kindly to disrespect now, because I try not to disrespect anybody. But if you feel how you feel, and we're gonna rock out, we rock. But I promise you, they're gonna come back. They'll come back. I guarantee you. I guarantee you they will come back. And good gosh, we've had so many people. We had so many people. Tank Rod Roach, yep, we talked about that. Let me see, Bud, because Spence lost the way that he did. For a lot of people, yeah, you ain't wrong about that. I was rooting for Bud against Spence. I was too. I'm not going to lie. Let's see, can't cut out the ring with someone jumping around over the corner and almost jumped over Canelo. Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. You're right. You are absolutely right. You are absolutely right. You see, if Canelo wins, then I'll give you your own shit. Oh, wait. Wait. Hold on. Wait. This show, time out. This show ain't for sale. Hold on a minute. Hold on a second. Whoa. Coming from my show up for auction. Okay. I built this brick by brick. Y'all ain't about to take this away from me. I tell you that. I tell you that right now. Oh my gosh. Shoot, let me see. Canelo was supposed to fight Spence at catchweight 164 in Dallas Stadium, but Crawford ruined it. What's that actually going to happen? Might be a joke. Now, I didn't know that was happening. Might not be the best thing, but still, regardless of which, Crawford ruined a lot of people's chances. I guarantee you. And see, I better keep my fingers crossed that Crawford wins, or y'all taking your chance. Hey man, hey, look, we can have another. I'm all for predictions, but if somebody tries to take this channel, we can have another mega event right now on this show. I will fight tooth and nail to the death to make sure I keep what I built. Okay. I love y'all, absolutely, but I promise you this. Hey, look, I ain't going down without a fight. I promise you that right now. I'm pretty sure Preacher Man knows what he's talking about. At least know in the conversation to make it I'm not trying to not leave air, please. I'm just trying to read so much. My goodness. Yo, Welch, who do you think is an elite on Crawford's resume? Because there's a clip of Canelo asking Crawford or Canelo asking Crawford on it. I was actually going to bring it up right now. Let me actually pull that clip up right now. Trey Bacon, what's good with you? How you doing? Thanks for tuning into the show. Glad that you are here. Blood just got to keep a straight mid-set and not thinking it's going to be like an early fight. You right. If he keeps his composure and he we know he can do, build as the round goes and potentially attack the body. I think it was Jay Wiggs or somebody said that the body might be a weak point for Canelo. If you can attack the stamina, like we saw with Bivol, that can make for a very interesting night in the second half of the fight, and potentially make it even easier for you to be able to pull off this upset if you can have it so that Canelo's stamina actually goes away, hypothetically. But again, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but I'm saying it's a possibility. But let me see. Better not say again, Bubba, who's undefeated but moved up moved up weight to fight Crawford and was off for 2 years before the fight. See, we're going to get into that. Let me see. Hey, Love King, what's good? How you doing? Thanks for tuning in to the show. Glad that you're here. We're getting ready to pull up the interview with Crawford versus Canelo and talking about, it was with Shaq, Tom Brady, Dana White, all of them, essentially the GOATs podcast, what it was called, talking about whether or not Canelo does or does not have elite names on his resume. And let me go bring it up right now. Let me pull up the clip so we can see it and we can have a good old-fashioned discussion. Here we go. Yep. All right.
Don't get me wrong, okay? He's a good fighter, a great fighter. I always say before I see him calling me out and want to fight and everything, I say before he's a great fighter. But if you look at his career, mention one elite fighter. Just mention me one elite fighter.
So Postal wasn't elite?
Who?
Victor Postal.
Who's that guy?
Oh, so he wasn't commercialized. He wasn't a great. Ricky Burns wasn't elite.
What? 40 years old champion in that moment beat Mr. Postal in my gym. I saw that.
So Ricky Burns wasn't elite.
Ricky Burns doesn't elite.
Okay.
He's not elite.
It's cool.
Is there a champion?
I'm going to fight another elite
There is
fighter
a champion. good fighters, but elite fighters is different. Wait.
So I'm gonna fight an elite fighter in September.
Yeah. Okay.
Then we're
gonna find out.
Then we're
We're
gonna
gonna find out. And don't get me wrong, you're a great fighter.
I know I'm great.
You're a great fighter. But are you gonna find out? I hope your uncle Turki Alashi pay you enough money because it's gonna be the last. That's for sure.
It may be.
I hope he pay you enough.
But after fighters fight me, they never the same. So I just hope your career continue.
If you look my career, never same after me.
My gosh. Okay. Wow. I'm telling like see, this is great. This is phenomenal. I love this. I really do. This type of now, even cordially, now again, the fire's getting turned up. But let's answer the question that was asked by Jay-Z. Hey, what do I think about Crawford's resume? Well, here's the thing. Crawford's resume is filled with elite names. It's just the fact that he brought up the wrong names that were not elite. That's me. Again, we gotta keep it. We gotta keep it a bean. We gotta keep it a bean. Like Crawford does have elite names on his resume, but it's just the names that he brought up were not elite that should have qualified in that conversation. Now, don't get me wrong. I am not saying they weren't good wins, but Canelo is right. There are different levels to elite versus non-elite in terms of as a fighter. There is a threshold. Don't get that, absolutely. But Crawford has fought names that have fit that said threshold. Let's not forget, one, the likes of Errol Spence Jr. Hey, wait a minute. Why was that not brought up? Why was that not brought up as the first name out of anybody's mouth? Because Errol Spence Jr., pound for pound at that point in time, number 8 in the world, I believe, number 8 and number 6 in the world. He was the best welterweight at that time. It was either him or Crawford. No matter who you had, one or two, he had the majority of the belts. He had ran through a bunch of names, quality names, Danny Garcia, Sean Porter. Hold on, wait, hold on. Almost had my stream. Shoot. I almost had my stream go out. I got scared. Oh my gosh. He's fought again, Danny Garcia, Sean Porter, Gamboa. He fought the likes of Kell Brook, a more prime Kell Brook. It ain't like he's fought just a bunch of bumps. Chris Algieri. Again, I'm not calling him elite, but he was a good fighter between that good and great threshold of a fighter. It ain't like he's just fought a bunch of no names that don't deserve the time of day. No, Errol Spence had separated himself from the rest of the world. Ugas. He had separated himself from the rest of the world as the man in this division. Absolutely. And again, don't forget, the brother was favored in that fight with Terrence Crawford. So we're not talking about this as it was a foregone conclusion that he was going to win. This wasn't Errol Spence versus Mikey Garcia, where Mikey Garcia moving up this much, and it was, he never really, if he pulled it out, great, but he never really had a big chance. Also because of his talent level wasn't on that same threshold either. But when it comes to that fight with Spence and Crawford, brother, that was the fight. The only reason why this fight is happening now is because that fight with Spence and Crawford did in fact take place. And so, like, Crawford has had some great, and again, that's just one of them. Errol Spence Jr., Sean Porter. We always talk about Sean Porter, multi-division champion, gave awards to everybody, fought everybody in the division, has fought every single soul imaginable. He is elite. He was elite at that point in time, He's retired now, but he was definitely an elite fighter. Kell Brook, elite fighter. Now, somebody said Jeff Horn was good. Hold on. Wait a minute now. Hey, hold on now. Trey Bacon, I respect it, absolutely. I respect the win. But Jeff Horn, to me, was never elite. Was never. Jeff Horn lost to Manny Pacquiao and wrongfully got the title. It should have been Pacquiao versus Terrence Crawford if Australia had not robbed Pacquiao of a understandable, a unanimous decision that should have been given. There's no way There's no world that we saw Jeff Horn win that fight. I remember, because that was the first time the ESPN had boxing in, 20 odd years on cable or on like regular television, though again, it's still a cable channel. That was the first time. I remember, me and my pops, we both stayed up to watch that fight. And we were so excited. And I think that was the first, full instance I got to see Manny Pacquiao. But in terms of like since, I think it was since Adrian Broner. Because I got to see the Adrian Broner fight, the Floyd fight, a couple of the fights as well. But this was like, okay, yeah, he's back, prime time, late in the day, sunny in Australia. We're going to be excited for it. I think this was, this might have been my pop's second time at seeing Pacquiao live. And so I was like, hey, buddy, you're going to see something great. And we saw something great. And he still lost. And it was insane. Had the whole world abuzz with ire. Then he got beat and destroyed by Terrence Crawford in 6 rounds, 5 rounds, just about something like that. Regardless of which, I respect Jeff Horn, sure. He didn't deserve that fight with Terrence Crawford because he didn't win that fight against Pacquiao in the first place. So I never saw that brother as a great fighter. Good to average for me was my threshold. And so, again, that personal stuff. I get it. You may not agree. I completely understand. And I respect the opinion. I just didn't think that. I definitely didn't think that. Definitely did not. And so, I'm not using Jeff Horn as a quality win for these types of arguments. But who I will use, Amir Khan. Don't forget that. The same brother who fought Canelo Alvarez. Let's not forget that. And Crawford TKO'd him. In fact, did he TKO? Did he beat him in less time than we saw the likes of Canelo? Oh, excuse me. He beat him in the same round. Canelo one punch KO'd him in round 6. Terrence Crawford stopped him TKO in round 6. So he beat him in the same amount of time as Canelo Alvarez. And Amir Khan still has some of the fastest hands in all the boxing. Was indeed great. Wasn't as good, sure, but still was great. So I don't get why all of a sudden these names are just being thrown under the rug as just whatever. And Crawford is right in his respect. Some names like Victor Postal, maybe Ricky Burns, though that was earlier. Yeah, Ricky Burns, they weren't as well established. They were good. Absolutely, you could even call them great. I think calling Ricky Burns a great fighter is not bad. Elite, maybe you got to kind of argue it, but I can call him a great fighter, and I can settle with that. Fine, but he wasn't nearly as recognized by the boxing public. Understandable. And just like we've seen with other people, a person can beat a good amount of names, but if you don't know them, for many people it's going to be it means nothing. Because who are they? Because they don't know. That's part of the discussion with the bantamweight division and a lot of smaller weight classes. They're great names, absolutely, but because people don't know them, all of a sudden it's going to be whatever. Even Jin Sasaki and Brian Norman Jr. Brian Norman absolutely decimating and KOing 6 months of life, or rather, a month and 2 weeks of life away from Jin Sasaki's memory. Literally erasing that brother's memory for a month and 2 weeks. People are going to look at that win for Brian Norman and say that's not really that impressive because who is Jin Sasaki? What people don't know, people then automatically, they try to take away from, because I don't know. But there are a plethora of people that are quality names that Crawford is faced off against. So he does have an elite resume. And Jay Riggs, I know you don't like it. You may not like it, but it's the truth. Gamboa deserves to be on that conversation. He does. Yes, he was 2 years out of the ring. No question. We understand that. But he was still at the heights of Gamboa being one of the biggest people in that division at 135. It was. Gamboa at that point in time when he was undefeated looked like, oh shoot. With Crawford on to come up and Gamboa had already arrived. And mind you, this is before he fought Tank Davis and tore his Achilles in that fight. It's before all that. This brother at this point in time still was valid and was still widely perceived as, at 135, this brother is one of the best 3 in the division. Unequivocally, without any caveats. And so he deserves to be part of that conversation. Don't let what happened with Gamboa afterwards negate what he was at that point in time. Because that's doing a disservice. That's doing a huge disservice to what we know Gamboa is. Excuse me. Oh, gosh. Excuse me. I'm so sorry. I don't know what's going on. I'm trying to make sure my voice ain't drying out. Let me, me, ma. Okay, I'm back. I should be. See, them acting classes I used to take in high school, them in middle school and high school, them vocal exercises. Oh yeah, they work wonders, no question. Listen, me personally, Khan was a B+ fighter. I respect it. I had him as A-, maybe an A, but still, if we are calling Amir Khan against Canelo as a quality great win, even if you don't call him elite, you can't take that away from what Crawford did, beating him same amount of rounds, arguably with less level of struggle, because Amir Khan against Canelo, hey brother, until he caught him and knocked him out, you can't deny that Canelo it wasn't the easiest of fights that he was having. Now, it speaks to Amir Khan's ability, but also Canelo didn't handle it in the same fashion that we saw Terrence Crawford be able to handle it. He didn't. The one punch KO, we remember. But let's not forget that Amir Khan has been one of the names that we continually use for Terrence Crawford. As to movers and speedy fighters, he doesn't like fighting against because of that very reason. With him and Laurie being some of the 2 names that fall into that threshold of, Canelo doesn't like people that are elusive in some way, shape, or form, fashion. Excuse me, or has some level of speed abounding in them. So I'm just saying, if we're going to have that as a great win for Canelo, makes no sense why that fight wouldn't be a great win for the likes of Terrence Crawford, at least in my eyes. But again, just my humble opinion. Burns, Gamboa, Postal, Ndongo, Benavidez, Khan, Porter, Spence, Majimov. Oh, I almost forgot Majimov. Shoot. I was working my way through the list trying to explain stuff. Majimov. I forgot to say Majimov. All these names are either, again, even if they aren't all elite, all solid wins. See, that's the issue that people are missing when it comes to Crawford versus Canelo. And the resume talk. It's not about it if every name was elite. Because, brother, you beat Miguel Cotto's brother, and you got rocked by him. All of a sudden, do we just let that detract you as, oh, you're nothing but a bum? No. And do we say that's a horrible win? If that's one of the names you have on your resume, why the what are we talking about it? Huh? John Ryder, all of a sudden we're going to say that's an elite win for you. Munguia, we're going to call that an elite win. Berlanga, we're going to call that an elite win for you. Skull, the last 5 fights you've been in have not been worthy of that elite title. They haven't. Does that diminish the rest of your resume? Miguel Cotto, he was older, way older when he was fighting. He was near the tail end of his career when he fought you. And you beat him. Do we hold that against you? Huh? The best of the elite. We can put asterisks behind those very victories or defeats. Bivol, you lost against. Floyd, you lost against. Gennady Golovkin, you should have lost against him at least once. We all know that good and well. He lost one. I think it was was it the first fight? Yeah, that first fight. I think, and again, I've been flip-flopping. I know. I'm not trying to. Every time I watch those fights, they've been close. But as of recently, that first fight, he lost that first fight. That second fight, it could have been a draw. Should have been a draw. And we're going to play it safe. There's an argument Golovkin might have won that second one too. And so your trilogy with Golovkin has asterisks behind both of those wins. The Arizona Lara. People say you lost against Lara. Every single elite name that you faced off against has either been a razor close decision or you got beat outright. Does that take away from you as being an elite fighter? Or you ain't got no names because we can't really put those names as valid? Because we're being completely honest, in all the fights that Terrence Crawford has had in his career, he has won them outright in more dominating fashion than we've seen with Canelo Alvarez. In every one of his biggest fights, we have had less speculation about the fights with Terrence Crawford across his entire career than we have with Canelo Alvarez. We have. I'm being real. I'm not trying to be a hater. I'm not trying to be somebody just nitpicking. I'm being serious. If you're going to bring up resumes, brother, if you say you got more elite names, that's fine. All of them are controversial decisions. Every single name that is either good or that is great to elite on Terrence Crawford's resume, there is no controversy. There is no other conversation going about. He beat him, period. He won, period. He won the same way that he fought against he beat the good fighters, the same way that he beat the great fighters, the same way that he beat the elite fighters, with the only struggle being Madrimov. If we want to talk in terms of like, ooh, that was his toughest fight. Sean Porter, he was getting beat up until he wasn't. He was getting beat up until he literally fought the next round, round 7, as if the fight had just started. He beat Sean Porter so decisively in round 7 that it negated everything that happened earlier. Every round that he had lost earlier negated it. Because all of a sudden it was immediate. When he flipped that switch, he left Sean Porter in the dust. When he flipped that 6th gear, he left Sean Porter in the dust so far away that it was incredible. Mind you, we were just coming off the backs of Porter having a war with Errol Spence Jr. for 12 rounds. And this brother comes in round 7. Boom. Immediate. Gone. Done. The second he heard I was losing, okay, we're going to end it right now. And he ended it right then and there. As if the fight was back to round 1. Insane. If we want to go resume for resume, Canelo has the greater resume. Yes. But there's leagues less dispute when it comes to what Crawford has done against all of his opposition versus you. Leagues level. And you trying to put down his names is stupid. It's ignorant. Because that shows that you really aren't valuing the people that should be valued, because those same people are the people that you value as good wins on your own resume. So now, this whole talk of Crawford not having any elite names is ridiculous. It's preposterous. It's ludicrous. It is insane and it is wrong in the greatest sense. Crawford does not get to become 2-time undisputed if he isn't facing off against people that are indeed killers. Almost every single one of his competitions are between that good to elite threshold. There is no bad win on Crawford's resume. There is no ducking win on Crawford's resume. There is no win that is seen as, that was a bum fighter on Crawford's resume. There isn't. There just isn't. And every name, if you want to say every name isn't great or every name isn't elite, that's fine. Almost all of them are great. Nearly all of them are great. You know how hard that is to go from good to great? Or to fight consistently within that good to great threshold? And consistently being able to be this dominant? Guess who else does that? In a way, does that same approach. Good to great to elite are the only names that he's fought against. No cherry picks, no people that just go through and you're supposed to win. Nobody that isn't an actual threat. All names are actual names that are valid and valued in that division. And you beating them only speaks to your consistent level of dominance at the truly great threshold, where everybody that you face off against is indeed supposed to be and is rightfully considered a real contender. That's what we see with Terrence Crawford. So all this talk is ludicrous. It's stupid. It's belligerent. That's what it is when it comes to trying to demean the likes of Crawford's career. I'm telling you, it's so bad. It's so bad. I think everyone got lucky and caught Majimov early in his pro career. You might be right. Now I will say Majimov has had an extensive, and I mean extensive, amateur career. Yes. My problem with Majimov, if he wants to be a better fighter, to get more wins under his belt against the elites of the division, he's got to be able, because he looks like a strong cat. He's got to better balance out the amount of bouncing that he does, because to some degree he beats himself with the amount of movement that he incurs. All that movement with that much energy requires so much stamina on top of still being a great, a great fighter. It's the inability to pace himself throughout these fights when it comes to bouncing and moving and having that herky-jerky stuff that inevitably, it happened with Crawford and it happened with Virgil Ortiz. He, to a degree, also beat himself in those fights because he tired himself out by moving that much, that early, so fervently, up until rounds like, 6 to 8. And then he starts gassing out. And now he can't use that movement when he needs to use that movement. If he can better pace himself, he can be a real threat again. I mean, he still is a real threat, but he can be an even more demonstrative threat in this division. It's entirely possible. But there is a stylistic change for me personally, that I see he needs to make, which is not be flat-footed, but pace yourself more when it comes to you being somebody that's on your toes all the time and moving so much. Because to a degree, as we've seen in 2 separate occasions, you have helped your opponent by beating yourself in the stamina game, by gassing yourself out by the time the later stage of the fight come around. You help that. You help yourself. You become an even bigger threat. So I don't think they caught him early. I think it's a habit that he's won with so much. It's hard to teach somebody out of that. And that's where the issue comes into play. You got to teach yourself out of that. If he can, great. But if not, we're going to run into the same issue again. T.Y., what's good with you? How you doing? Thanks for tuning into the show. So glad that you are here. What you got to say? Why do you think, who do you think is going to win, Canelo or Bud? I'm going for Crawford, but I think Canelo is too much for him. I really do think, for now, I got Canelo. But every day, especially after what we saw this weekend, it just got so close. It just got so close. Because like I said at the start of the show, which you might not have been here, but at the start of the show, I said the power discrepancy that we said Canelo would have as the most dominant aspect as to why this fight would go his way, now didn't get quelled, but it just got checked. And it indeed got showed that it's not as big of a gap as we may have expected. And that's the concern for Canelo now more than ever. And hey, I got Canelo, but brother, I know now more than ever, it's a real dilemma. It's a real dilemma, man. I'm telling y'all, it's a real dilemma. It's concerning. I love it. I love it that it's concerning because it makes an even better fight. No question. But let me see. Look at Mule. How you doing? Good to see you. Thanks for tuning into the show. So glad that you are here. Please leave a like on the stream. Also, if you like what we got going on, again, shameless plug. I don't want to do it, but I got to do it. Shameless plug. Please support the show if you can. We ain't got super chats yet. We are 200 hours away. 200 watch hours away from super chats. We almost there. Hey, we are almost there at super chats. If you all keep watching, we can make it happen. All thanks to you. That way you can support the show with greater ease. But for now, with what we got to best support the show, if you want to help keep the lights on and help us invest back in it to make this bigger and better for you, Cash App, PayPal, links in the description also down below. If you want to give anything, we'll do. Just put in the chat that you gave something. Don't gotta expose it. You just put the amount and put where you sent it to. I can go and check and validate and then give you a shout out as just due, so I can make sure that if you do support, hey, make it worth your while. Absolutely. Because again, you all drive this show. You all make this happen. I can't do this without you. I love doing this with you all. And you all, again, it's a pleasure. This ain't a job for me. It's great. I love it. But this community also is self-funded for now. Until we get some sponsors, it's self-funded. So if you would, anything to support would be meaningful to me. And just keep on sharing the show. Keep on pushing it out there. Give it to other boxing fans and sports fans as a whole. And let them see what we got going on, because they're going to love it. I promise you. They will love it, absolutely. But let me keep on reading what you guys see. Looking at Bud's resume, he has never beat a legit no-brainer Hall of Famer. Spence isn't really. Wait, whoa! 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 Oh, shoot! Really? Now, I don't agree with this. I really don't agree with this. Spence is a bona fide Hall of Famer. Porter, bona fide Hall of Famer. Kell Brook is going to be in the Hall of Fame. Amir Khan is going to be in the Hall of Fame. These names are going to be in my opinion, outright Hall of Fame caliber. Magomedov was a champion within 10 fights at 154. Crawford fought him immediately. Mind you, this is in Magomedov's physical prime, and he beats him. He genuinely beats him. Not controversially. He actively, by wide consensus, he beat Magomedov in his first fight at a heavier weight division. I don't know how that doesn't qualify as being somebody who is indeed worthy of being, hey, the resume is great. Every legitimate name, when we talk about from once again, Gamboa also, Ricky Burns also. Again, not to mention going up through what did I say? Well, yeah, but we said Magomedov, Spence, Sean Porter, Kell Brook, Amir Khan. If you want to throw Jose Benavidez in there, though, I can understand if you didn't. As a good win, sure. If not, we can leave him out. That's perfectly fine. Yeah, but if you want to go, Victor Postal, who at that point in time at 135, or excuse me, at 140, was, brother, he don't act like he wasn't just some bump. Brother, he was one of the best in the division. And to beat him, let alone, I believe you knocked him out. At that point in time, with him being 28-0, hey man, you can't take that away. At least you shouldn't for that reason. Gamboa, though it was after a 3-year layoff, understandable, this was an undefeated Gamboa. This was still physically in his prime and mentally in his prime Gamboa. This was a Gamboa that was running through 135. That was seen as one of the best in the division, if not the best in the division, outright by many people. Taking the globe by storm in this 135-pound division. Power and speed, and was also had a Cuban-esque type style to him. Like he was the truth, man. Don't act like he wasn't nothing. He was something serious. And so I would say that, yeah, I think it's justified that the names, it's a great resume. It is indeed a great resume. Because most of them are at least between that good to great threshold. And at least 5 of them, 4 to 5, are within the Hall of Fame caliber, or great to elite caliber. So that's a quality resume for me. Let me see. Look at Bud's win. Look at these guys' age. Porter old. Hold on. Time out. Porter still looked like he had 4 more years left in the sport. Porter still, even after that loss to the likes of Errol Spence Jr., which was a war, was insane, was incredible. He was still phenomenal. It was still, if it wasn't Porter or Spence, like it wasn't like we were saying most people in that division were gonna beat the likes of Sean Porter. It wasn't. I'm so serious. At this point in time, he lost to Kell Brook. Cool. He lost to Keith Thurman, who at that point in time was looking to be the next it guy at 147. Which, again, if he didn't retire, he probably would be at the top of this division right now. Genuine, because he was indeed just that good. Him losing to Pacquiao spoke to the greatness of what Pacquiao is, but it wasn't like Keith Thurman was just some Joe Schmo, but it was the truth, and still is the truth. Though he's adding it more. Now we can call him old, absolutely. But still, after the Keith Thurman loss, he beat Berto, He beat Grandos. He beat Danny Garcia. He beat Ugas. He lost to Spence in a split decision. And then afterwards lost to Terrence Crawford. So the only names that Porter has lost to are the very best of this division. That's it. And it's either been incredibly close or it's incredibly close, or like with Crawford, he just got beat outright. But again, it's few and far between, and only with the best names in the division. So I can't see it when it comes to Gamboa. Gamboa is small. Magimov hasn't proven anything. Just got handily to Virgil. Wait a minute. Crawford beat Magimov before Virgil beat Magimov. This wasn't, you can't even use the second-hand smoke or second-hand hand-me-downs against this fight with Magimov, because Crawford beat Magimov before Virgil fought him. Crawford beat Magimov when Magimov was undefeated. Crawford beat Magimov when Magimov got the belt. And Magimov had the same struggles that Crawford had in his fight. Like, I know we all watched the same thing. We covered this on the last show as well. So again, I understand the viewpoints. I don't think that it's valid. I don't think that this is valid. Because I think this takes away from the wins. Because again, if we want to, like I just said, if we want to critique resumes, if we look at Canelo's resumes, most of the wins with Canelo, we can nitpick and we can say, hey brother, every time you fought against an elite competition, there's been some level of agitation and or confrontation by the fans regarding to the quality of that win. Whether or not you won it at all, even like with Gennady Golovkin, both times. Like with Amir Khan, you knocked him out. But again, I just covered this. You knocked him out. But him and Arizona Lara, we're saying you struggled, especially with movers. Arizona Lara, Crawford even said himself, he feels like you lost that fight. And then Floyd, you lost. Bivol, you lost. Kovalev, you beat, but he was old and getting ready to retire. So I'm saying, if we want to nitpick at the best wins of Canelo, we can do that. And we definitely ain't going to say that he sustained that same level of elite caliber talent throughout his entire career. We can at least say that Crawford has had a consistency of quality with his resume. We can't say that for Canelo, because Canelo has fought for the past 5 fights people that didn't deserve, that shouldn't have been in the ring. Or if they should have been in the ring, they weren't nearly up to the caliber. Munguia, I'll give it to you. We can respect Munguia. Fine. We can respect him. I know we said that we shouldn't, or I know that we said we shouldn't hold him as a high win, but when I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Because I initially said Munguia, similar to Floyd, Munguia was up and coming, moved up to the weight class, and knocked out John Ryder. Bing, bang, boom. Okay, you earned a shot at Canelo. Fine. You won the sweepstakes, and we covered that old sweepstakes debacle. We get it. And that was looking to be a genuinely competitive fight, potentially. Though we know that Canelo was a better fighter. Munguia comes in, gets destroyed. Understandable. Fine. But we can even throw Munguia out of that. Berlanga, Ryder, Skull. Horrible. Terrible. Abysmal. Don't say that those fighters add to the resume and the legacy of what Canelo is as a champion. From the standpoint of, yeah, this is a great win that we hold in high regard. This speaks to his great. We can't, don't do that. We've been covered. We have been covered. Of his last 5 fights, 4 of them have been against people that he should not have fought against. And the only reason why he fought against the likes of Skull was just to get the belt. And Skull didn't even try. Charlo, also, he didn't even try. That was a horrible win. Because Charlo didn't try to do anything. And so, and again, still couldn't knock him out. If we want to go and nitpick at the perceived legacy of Canelo, well, not perceived, it is a great legacy. Let me rephrase it. It's not a perceived legacy. It is a great legacy. But we can also nitpick at that and say that even with the names that we see with you, there's a problem. So I would be careful to devalue what we've seen with Crawford do. Because also, Amir Khan is also on the resume of Canelo. And he beat him in the same amount of rounds. And arguably didn't have as many struggles with Amir Khan as Canelo did. It's a dangerous game playing this, because if you really want to break it down, stuff can get bad. From the standpoint of all of a sudden stuff gets revealed about Canelo's resume that can potentially put some chinks in the armor. That is still a great thing, but to detract from Crawford only puts a bad spotlight on Canelo. And especially, we can say this at minimum. Regardless of what you want to say about Canelo's resume, Canelo fought Canelo fought his biggest rival. We can say that. Canelo fought his biggest rival. He fought and beat Spence. Canelo still ain't fought Benavidez. We can say that definitively. Regardless of what you want to say about the quality of resumes, we can say that at minimum, Crawford, if everything else failed, Crawford fought the biggest op that was in front of him and beat him. Canelo did not. He didn't. And he still hasn't. Because he ain't fought Benavidez. He's still skirting around the name of Benavidez. If Canelo beats Crawford in September, Crawford is not his biggest opposition. Benavidez is the biggest comp that he is supposed to have already fought 3 years ago. After Boo Boo Andre. After Caleb Plant. Benavidez is supposed to get a shot at Canelo, and Canelo never gave it, and he's still skirting around the question. So, we gotta hold that as a bad thing. That brings down how we can perceive Canelo's legacy, because his biggest op, he ain't fought and refuses to fight. That ain't what Spence did. He ain't do that. And the whole reason why, like I said before, that Spence is getting this fight, or that Crawford's getting this fight with Canelo, is because he did in fact beat his biggest op in Errol Spence Jr. So we can at least say that Crawford left no crumbs on the table. He ate his plate when it came to his division. Canelo ain't. He didn't. It still has not. That's one of the biggest things about it. But the resume of opponents is C level. No, that's a dead lie. His accolades are A level. But needs this Canelo win to solidify his opponents over his career. No, he doesn't, because he already did. Him beating Spence, him beating Porter, him beating Khan. All of them, him being undisputed in 2 weight classes. All of those wins, they did validate what he is as a fighter. He was in pound for pound #1 talks before he ever got into the fight with Errol Spence Jr. He was there before the fight with Spence. He was already in those conversations. He was. It was him and Crawford before. It was him and Crawford in the pound for pound top 3 discussion before Crawford ever fought against Errol Spence Jr. I know this. I was there. We were all there. We witnesses. This ain't nothing new. This ain't nothing new. So again, I'm not upset. I'm not trying to lay into anybody. No, but we can't do revisionist history, because that only sullies what we know, what we were witnessing. We know what they're talking about. We know what I said, what I was saying throughout this whole time the channel's been running. When it comes to who is indeed at the top of the division, he was there before Spence, or at the top of the pound for pound list. He was there at that level before Spence. And so this can't be something that we hold against him, because this is blatantly wrong. The resume is filled with great names, some of which Canelo also fought. So if you're bringing down Amir Khan versus Crawford, then you got to bring down Canelo versus Crawford, or Canelo versus Amir Khan. And then also, does this fight then further diminish Canelo's legacy, if Canelo does beat him, Canelo's like, you fought somebody that was at 154, and if you handle him easily, do we value this win? Are we going to value this win? If we're going to do it this way, are we going to value this win if Canelo does beat Terrence Crawford? Because if we're not, then that speaks to Crawford wasn't really that great. If we're not, that means that Crawford wasn't really that great. If we don't value this win, if Canelo does in fact beat Crawford, it's not going to be as great as if Canelo lost to Crawford. Yes, Crawford can be on a greater threshold if he does that, but this still would be a great win for Canelo. If he beats Terrence Crawford, yes, it would. But if we gonna say all this stuff against Crawford's resume, this fight shouldn't be a big fight then. This fight shouldn't be a big fight. This should be like Jeff Horn versus Crawford. In my eyes. This should be a throwaway fight. This shouldn't be a fight that you should tune in for. If we're going to say that Crawford's resume is not in any way, shape, or form great, we can't do that. Because then we have been saying all this time that the resume matches both the accolades and the names. But now all of a sudden the names mean nothing, but the accolades actually are something. But he got those accolades by beating these great names. So I don't understand where the disconnect is, at least for me. Mean Machine is elite. Crawford couldn't pronounce his name. That's why he didn't say it. Dude. Oh, you talking about what was it? Shoot, Calavasquez. Calavasquez. I think that's how you say it. Calavasquez. Yeah. I think it's Calavasquez, Calavasquez, something. Aegis Calavasquez. I think that's the best way to say it. I believe that was his name. I believe. Shoot. I'm trying to make sure I say that right as well. But yeah, no. He was great also. If people want to not put him in there. Again, we're not saying all these names are elite. But great is still great. A great fighter is still a great fighter. And the consistency of great fighters helps to make you stand out as, yeah, this brother's elite. Because everybody who was great, he's ran through. And if you want to say the only elite person was the likes of was the likes of Errol Spence, and he handled him like that, well, then that validated everything about the elite position that we were already saying that Crawford had done based on the great wins from great fighters that he had beaten in the past. If you want to call everybody before, if you want to call everybody before Spence not elite, then you got to call at least most of them great. You have to. If you're going to say everybody before Spence was not elite, then everybody before Spence must be a great fighter. Because they ain't just good. You can't say that. The big bulk of them, you can't say that they were just good. Yes, David Avenesian, sure, throw him out. Jeff Horn, sure, throw him out. I ain't got no problem with it. Jose Benavidez, borderline. Cool. But most of the others, you can't say that. You can't. You can't. Let's see. Let me see. Brook, big fights. Triple G, Spence got worked in. Hold on. Brook's big fight was Triple G. And he lost in that fight. Spence. Hold on. Wait. Hold on. Time out. Oh, excuse me. Brook's big fight was versus Triple G and Spence. Got worked in both fights. Yes, he did. Both eyes were gone. Absolutely. And he beat a washed up Khan. Brook claimed to fame was beating Porter. That's it. His biggest win, yes, was beating Porter. But also, we're not going to act like that Errol Spence fight with again, him losing the fight does not negate how great he was. That fight was a phenomenal fight because Brook was in there. He was in there. And he showed why he was a valid win for Errol Spence. He showed it. The fact that Crawford beat him in such a quick fashion, 4 rounds, with essentially a jab, a counter jab, was unexpected. Because we had seen the punishment he'd been able to take against Triple G and Errol Spence. So again, that still doesn't take away from the win. if you are not of that caliber, brother, you ain't beating Kell Brook. You aren't. And again, doesn't detract from it, at least in my eyes. At least for me. But let me see. Canelo beat Triple G. That was the guy. And again, he did beat him. But it's incredibly controversial. And he lost that first one. And the second one, it should have been more so of a draw in my eyes than an actual win for Canelo. Though you can argue the second fight was a better fight. Both fights were great. The trilogy that he got against Gennady Golovkin, Gennady was over the hill. Absolutely. That third fight, Gennady was nowhere close to the level. And even then, he was able to win the last 4 rounds of that fight because he turned it on. And Canelo's gas tank went out. All of a sudden, Gennady Golovkin had some success. If this was a 15-round fight, oh my gosh. We might have been saying, wait, Golovkin may have actually been able to pull it out. If this was a 15-round fight instead of a 12-round fight, was how that fight was going after rounds 8, there could have been a different story, hypothetically. But even in that third fight, Canelo didn't look nearly as good as he did in the first two. And he should have been leaps and bounds, been able to, if there was any fight that Canelo should have been able to absolutely destroy the likes of Gennady Golovkin, should have been that one. But he didn't do that either. He beat him. But even then, Gennady was having success in the last stage of the fight. Big success, actually, was winning rounds. Insane. Ridiculous. Preposterous. But let me see. Calabasas, yeah, I'm telling you, we trying to make sure that we say names correctly, but brother, it's tough to see. Let's see, Crawford, let's see, and again, T-Surf, I think we'll call you T-Surf. Is it TW Surf? How you doing? Good to see you. Crawford, lousy resume? Nah, I can't rock with it. I can't rock with it. I'm telling you. There was his resume is not bad. His resume is not bad. Crawford ain't fought nobody. Crawford fought nobody. Spence was drunk in that ring. No, he wasn't. No, he wasn't. No, he wasn't. Spence was not drunk in the ring. Spence, again, if we can't use the car crash as a means of anything going wrong, because the brother had fought Danny Garcia directly after that car crash, who was elite. Big, huge threat. Counterpuncher savant with pop, insane pop. And he beat him the way that he beat him. Oh yeah, no. If there was any sign that should have been the fight that we were concerned, that would have been the fight where all this crash talk or any outside the ring drama would have showed up. Also with Ugas as well. But he fought perfectly fine then. Perfectly fine in both ends. He just got beat. He just got destroyed. He just outright got destroyed in that fight. And so, no, again, I respect it. I respect the opinion. It's just wrong. It's just absolutely wrong. But let me see. But it is. Calavasquez is a long name to me. Canelo fought the first fight as a slick black fighter. The second he fought the Mexican style, and it's more. He's been fighting slick. From 154 to 160, he could fight incredibly slick. Also, I think more so. He knew he had to stand in front of Golovkin more second fight to have a more clear standpoint in winning. Though still, that fight is still incredibly controversial, that second one. But he had to stand and bang with Golovkin to be able to have more offensive success, to get himself in a better position to be a more definitive winner if he wanted to have that as his, okay, we got to make it happen. So, but you're right. The styles did change from one fight to the other. Adaptations were made. And again, it speaks to the greatness of Canelo to be able to fight both styles and be successful in both styles. Absolutely. But at the same time, still doesn't change that the controversial nature of that fight is that. And again, who's Danny Garcia? Well, again, Danny Garcia at that point in time was one of the most feared counterpunchers at 154. Or excuse me, at 147, my apologies. During the days of the prime of Spence, Crawford, and Porter as some of the three biggest names in that division. That's the truth. Danny, especially after the wreck, with Danny Garcia being the first fight that Errol Spence came back from. Brother, that was incredibly dangerous. That was horrifyingly dangerous. Insanely dangerous. It was ridiculous. It was preposterous for that fight to be the first fight back. Because, again, just like with Porter, outside of the biggest names, Thurman, Spence, and even Sean Porter, Danny Garcia was whipping just about anybody in his way. Was KOing most people under, going against him. This brother was ridiculously strong and ridiculously good at being able to counter you and catch you and put you out. Oh, he was a bad brother. Now he just recently lost to Lara because now I think he's done. He should be done now because I don't think he's got it anymore. Just me. But from Errol Spence on down, Danny Garcia was he was one of the ones. He was one of the bigger threats in that whole division. He was bad, but if you ever get a chance, go back and watch him, look him up. Genuinely, this cat, if you knew the talk at that point in time, oh nah. Danny Garcia was one of the ones that people were saying, hey, maybe Spence should not be fighting him in his first fight back. Shouldn't be fighting that brother. It's concerning. It was indeed concerning. Absolutely. Yo, Fight Buzz. What's good with you, my brother? How you doing? Thanks for tuning in to the show. If you like what we got going on, please leave a like on the stream. Go ahead. Comment your thoughts and opinions in the chat down below. Please subscribe if you haven't already. And please share the show with as many people as possible so we can keep on building up this empire, getting more people involved with the channel. And again, if you want to support the channel, we ain't got super chats yet. We are 200 hours away from getting super chats on this show. We almost there, absolutely. So we can make it easier for you all to support the channel. But if you want to do it, please, Cash App, PayPal, links in the description as well. If you want to give to the channel, please give to the channel and then just say, hey, I gave, and then we can, give you your just due and give you your support as deserved. But please, help me make this show the best it can be. Help keep the lights on. Help us invest back into the show. We're driven by you all. So please, make it happen. It don't mean the world to me. No question about it. Absolutely. But let me keep on reading what you all got to say. Bro, give me your predictions on Chavez versus, Chavez Jr. versus Jake Paul this weekend. Well, you know what? Since we're here, we got more than we can cover, but we can jump into it right now. We're going to jump into the championship rounds. Yes, sir. That's right. Now, we can talk about anything and everything. Oh, it's what, an hour 48? We can go 30 minutes to it. Shoot, knowing how this show goes, we'll probably go another hour. But now it's the championship rounds. Whatever you all want to discuss, topics and opinions on boxing, sports, and beyond. With this is the show. We can talk about anything and everything beyond the biggest portions of this show that we have been discussing. The world is your oyster, and it's time for you to shine and grow and make your voice be heard. Put your questions and comments in the chat, your reactions to whatever you want to talk about, your debates, your concerns, all that stuff. Put it in there about whatever you want to discuss, and we can discuss it right here on the channel for the next 30 minutes to potentially an hour. The show is your own. Let's see what you got to say, absolutely. Let's see. Highwayman, what's good with you? How you doing? Thanks for tuning into the show. Appreciate you joining in with all that we have to offer with this stream. Absolutely. And let me make sure that we still got more. Trying to also make sure that we keep ourselves posted with the likes of what potentially going on social media so we can make sure if anything breaks, we know what goes on there. Crawford dominates first 7 rounds. Then Canelo drops. Wait, hold on. Comment got cut off. Hold on. Wait. Let me put it. Hold on. Wait a minute. Okay, there Crawford dominates first 7 rounds. Then Canelo drops him and dog walks in the rest of the fight. Canelo wins by decision. Ooh, that's interesting. I'm thinking it's the other way around. I'm thinking if there was a way, again, I got Canelo winning right now. be prepared for that to change potentially within the coming weeks, because the more I look into this fight, the more interesting it gets. But I got Canelo winning. I thought it would be the opposite. Canelo dominates the first 7 or first 5. We'll say first 6. Then Crawford comes in and starts tuning it up second half of the fight. And then round 12, brother, it's whoever gets that last round, similar to Teofimo Lopez versus Arizona Lara. That's who wins this fight. And that would be incredibly interesting. And again, I got Canelo winning. I do. But the way I see it, I think I got it flipped. Canelo winning the first 6. Crawford winning the last 6. Then round 12, hey, brother, who wants it? Who wants it, man? At least for me right now. But let me answer your question. Let me fight, Buzz. Let me answer your question real quick before I continue. My prediction for Chavez versus Jake Paul this weekend. I hate that I'm gonna say this. I hate that I'm gonna say this. I hate that I'm gonna say this. But I got Jake Paul winning. I hate it. I despise it with everything in me. But I got Jake Paul winning this fight. Because I don't know how dedicated Chavez really is going to be. I don't. I hate it. I despise it with all of my soul. But I don't know if I can trust Chavez. With him coming in, again, the fight's going to be at 190. Chavez is a natural 160 pounder. He's been in and out of the sport for who knows how long. Undedicated. In and out of rehab. Has not been driven. Wasted his prime. Of his own volition. Lost to Anderson Silva. Has been a complete shell of what he was as a champion. Even with him being a champion. I don't trust it. I don't trust it. I don't trust it. I don't trust him. More specifically. That's the issue. I don't trust him. And because I don't trust him, I don't want to pick Jake Paul. Never. I never do. My gosh, I never do. But I almost ain't got a choice at this point. Because he's been shown more consistency. As much of a lack of consistency, or in terms of, as much of a lack of actual boxing talent that Jake Paul possesses, you got to be on your game to make sure you do beat him, because he can beat you. He is a full-blown boxer now, as much as I hate to say it. He's a full-blown boxer now. There's no social media darling about it. He is a boxer. And I hate the fact that he's in this position. Absolutely I do. But doggone it, man. I don't think we're going to see Chavez be able to beat him. If I'm wrong, let me be wrong. Lord, let me be wrong. Let me be wrong. Please, let me be wrong. And make it so that we can see this man get put out. But right now, I don't got faith in Chavez until he shows me otherwise. Because he's been so in and out of this sport. You can't play this game. You can't play this sport and not live this sport before this sport gets taken away from you. Chavez has been playing this sport and ain't been living this sport for who knows how long. He doesn't give me any confidence to say that he can beat Jake Paul. And again, after this, Jake, fight an actual fighter, a legitimate, young, youthful, amateur trained, legitimately talented, cruiserweight at 190 that is at your same size, and show us what you can do. Until then, don't talk to me. Don't talk to me at all. Do not talk to me at all, because I can't stand it. I definitely cannot stand it. I remember when Danny Garcia beat Sand. Let me make sure who's Sand. You talking about Samuel Vargas? Yeah, no. When he TKO'd, or no, he TKO'd Samuel Vargas. Who am I thinking? Who the word am I thinking of that he beat? When it comes to this fight, I think it was Samuel Vargas. He KO'd Paulie Malignaggi. He's again, this is what is knocked out. He knocked out Amir Khan in 2012. Shoot. This is what he knocked out Amir Khan in 2012. So like he even more in prime Amir Khan. He's beat Kendall Holt. There's been a lot of names. Again, it's of a bygone era, but there's been a lot of names that helped solidify Danny Garcia as one of them ones in this division, and for him to be able to again sustain that same rapport for as long as he did is incredible. It speaks to how good he was as a fighter. And did he fight against Zab Judah? Wait a minute, hold on. Oh my gosh, he did fight Zab Judah. Oh shoot. Oh my goodness. I did not realize it. Oh shoot. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Time out. Wait a second. Wait a minute. Wait a second. Some of these names I'm just now recognizing. Yo, this cat really went through the ringer. Wait a second. John Figueroa, Kendall Holt, Eric Morales, Amir Khan beat Eric Morales again, beat Zab Judah, beat Lamont Peterson, Marlon Nagy, Robert Guerrero, Samuel Vargas, lost to Keith Thurman, then beat Brandon Rios, lost to Sean Porter, then beat Grondos, then beat I think it's Red Koch, then fought L. Spence, lost him, beat Jose Benavidez Jr., lost to Arizona Lara, who at that point in time this current version of Arizona Lara, who is currently the oldest ranking champion in the world, and has turned into a heavy-handed power puncher from being as slick as he used to be. Shoot. But even I, not discredit, but even I didn't realize just how many people Danny Garcia having beaten throughout the course of his career. Big question is, what is Canelo or Bud reaction to getting dropped? That we've seen him rock. We have seen him rock. And they can both handle it well. Dropped, different story. Don't know how each of them will handle it, or if it happens to each one in this fight, or if it will happen to each one in this fight. Understand it. But we know in terms of getting caught, both of them have been caught before. Now, credit, Canelo got caught by a lesser fighter than Terrence Crawford. Crawford got caught against Gamboa in his prime. Canelo got caught against Cotto's brother, which again, respect him. But he wasn't Gamboa. And he got rocked. But both of them young, coming up in their careers. Understandable. Though that was for a title that Terrence Crawford beat Gamboa for. Absolutely. But we've seen them both rock, and we've seen them both be able to come back and handle it well. We've seen, I want to say, when they did get rocked, Crawford handled it better. I want to say that. Strictly going off with the times that I've seen them both hurt. I think Crawford's he's been hurt and handled it better for me than what I've seen with Canelo Alvarez, though they both weathered the storm. But still, they can both weather the storm. That's the question. So I think if they get knocked down, I think they'll both still be able to weather it and still do what they need to do to get back into that fight. But it's an interesting question. It definitely is an interesting question. But let me see. Highwayman, how you feel about Crawford saying he's 70% certain he'd win? I've never heard anyone talk like that. And I think it's because like he understands the risk that, yeah, I'm going into this. This is a big leap for me. No question. I can lose. Absolutely. But I think more so he's talking in a manner that he doesn't, like with other fighters, they would talk and then their words get thrown back at him and then they get humiliated. Because, oh, you said you're going to do this, that, and the third. Look at what happened. Ha, ha, ha. And you know, he's playing the more PR-friendly game from the standpoint of he'll still talk about how he's going to beat him. But he'll also talk in a realistic standpoint of, hey, man, I know what I'm in there against. I know why I'm the underdog. And I know why there's a real opposition that can show me losing this fight. I get it. Again, doing the more realist type of mentality. Don't let that fool you, though. Don't let that fool you. Don't let it fool you at all. Don't let it fool you in the slightest. This brother still believes in his whole heart he's going to beat Canelo. He'll talk the PR-centric route. Yeah, 70, 80%, I can beat him because I know what he can do. Absolutely, I know the threat that I'm in against. As you saw in the press conference, brother, that ain't no 70% level confidence. The way he's walking down the likes of Canelo, going and essentially defying the greatness by walking to him like he's just another Joe Schmo. And yeah, you ain't who you think you are going up against me. That ain't that type of confidence. He's showing his Crawford. See, here's the thing with Terrence Crawford, as a person, his actions dictate what he really feels more than his words. Though he says, what he means. He'll say something, and he really does believe it. But his actions are the truest indication of what he feels like going into this fight. It's been time and time again. We've seen him talk. We've seen him talk in these same type of PR-centric ways, like with the Errol Spence fight. And then the second he turned it on, all of a sudden he's going at the crowd. He's going at family members. He's going at Spence. Hey, watch what I do to your brother. Watch what I do to your nephew. You're gonna regret it. I'm gonna make you cry by the time the end of the night comes, because you're gonna see exactly what I do to this cat. You think I'm playing? I'm not. We've seen him flip that switch and say what really he feels like. This is that switch being flipped. He's now saying, from this point on, he gonna say what he feels. Genuine, actual. Because remember, that interview, the GOAT podcast and all that stuff, that was before the Canelo fight with William Skull. That was recorded before the fight with Skull. Now, yeah, you're gonna get exactly how he feels about it now. You're going to get exactly how he feels about it now. Mike Tyson Jake Paul beat Mike Tyson. Chavez Jr. went easy. Again, that fight was a fluke. I hate it. I despise it. I'm disgusted by it. With no qualms about it. The fact that fight happened, mind you, Tyson still made Jake Paul miss more than nearly any other opponent that Jake Paul has faced off against. Because the head movement was still there. It was the legs and being able to capitalize with the counter windows. Tyson just could not move. He knew what to do, but his body could not let him do it. Similar to Pacquiao. Pacquiao fighting Ugas. Pacquiao knew where to move when he fought against Ugas, but his legs on that night failed him. And I have said this countless times before. If Mike Tyson was 54 when he fought Roy Jones Jr., if he was at that age fighting against Pacquiao, Mike Tyson would have knocked out Jake Paul. I'm being dead serious. Look at that fight with Roy Jones Jr. Look at this fight with Tyson versus Paul. Mind you, that fight, we talk about him pulling punches for the Jake Paul fight. That fight with Roy Jones Jr., he was actively holding himself back. Oh, I know the difference. He was genuinely holding himself back from throwing shots at Roy Jones Jr. that if they had landed, but it could have done some real damage. And this was against Roy Jones Jr. that was just active a year or two ago prior professionally to that fight with Mike Tyson. Tyson had literally not fought in 15 years. And that Mike Tyson would have beaten this Jake Paul if that Mike Tyson was 54 years old instead of 58, like he was against Jake Paul. I'm so serious. Go watch it back. You will see a night and day difference in mobility, in footwork, and balance, and being able to follow through with stuff because the kinetic chain is working like he wants it to work. Yeah, I'm telling you, Tyson at 54 versus Tyson at 57, 58, two completely different fighters. Two completely different fighters. Completely different. Insanely different. I'm so serious. I'm so serious. Roy put up a better fight than what we saw with Jake Paul. Jake Paul did the bare minimum because he only had to just stay away from Tyson because Tyson literally could not move his legs. If he was able to move his legs in that fight, like he was at 54 against Roy Jones Jr., Jake Paul would have been knocked out. I'm so serious. Because already Jake Paul, he was already eating the right hands of Jake Paul. Don't forget that. Jake Paul was actually trying to knock out Tyson and landed some great right hands on Tyson. And Tyson still kept on standing and coming forward. He got to put off balance, yes, because his balance was gone at this age. But in terms of taking punches, he still showed that that chin against Jake Paul, at least, was still there. Because he didn't get knocked down. Didn't even get rocked. More so got, again, pushed off balance because he has no legs. But he wasn't rocked. If this fight was then, he would have lost. If it was 54 in this fight that they had on Netflix instead of 57, he would have knocked out Jake Paul. I'm so serious. I'm dead serious. I promise you. I'm so serious. I stand on that to the day I die. I'm telling you, he would have beat him. He would have beat him. Hey, Felicia Williams, what's good with you? How you doing? Thanks for tuning into the show. Let's see what you got to say. Are Canelo Crawford tickets on sale yet? Is it in the daytime? So it's going to be at Raiders Stadium, Arlington. I believe it's is it Raiders Stadium, Las Vegas, Nevada. Tickets are on sale. Let me actually see. Crawford versus Canelo ticket sales. Ooh, I'm trying to see. Okay, so tickets are available for purchase. And it's going to cost you around $770 or $707. My gosh. Hey. You can buy the tickets right now. StubHub, whatever other thing you want to do, you can buy them right now. You can. I'll show. Hey, look, I'll show you. Where's my camera? Here we go. I'll show you ticket price right now. What you want? You want section 400 level? You want a 400 level? $500. You want a 400 section? $650. What is it? I'm trying to zoom in now, so I can get a better glimpse. What is it? So we talking about. So if you want to sit at the very top of the top, that's gonna run you what, at the edge of the stadium? If you want to sit at the edge of the world, oh my gosh! Wait, oh shoot! I'm sorry. Excuse me, I was wrong. You want to sit at the edge of the world, section 431, $983. You got 10 left. You want to sit section 429, $640. Section 440, $957. If you want to sit anywhere close, anywhere on the edge of the inner bowl, it's going to run you $1,000 to $2,000. Anything in the relatively close to floor section, $2,000. Ringside, $17,000.
Hey, look at this! We got the problems here.
Hey,
We got the problems here.
hey, does anybody, if y'all want to now, if y'all want to, and y'all want to support this channel, Cash App, PayPal, we can get it going. Y'all can fund me going down here, Las Vegas, $17,643, ring directly in front of the ring. Hey, we can make it happen. We can make it go. We can make it go. Absolutely. Let me shrink my camera so you can see a little bit more exactly the breadth, the breadth of this thing. As we hold on, wait, is it bigger? Oh, I don't want to stretch myself. There we go. Okay, there we go. And it's Shoot, where's that? There we go. All right. Yep. So as you can see, if we zoom in, $17,643 for Section 6. Section 6 through 13. Or excuse me, Section 6 alone, 17,000. Section 5, 12,000. Ring walk, 3,000. We can go. We can go with your support. With your support, we can make this happen. Oh yes, we can. oh yeah, I'm not laughing. We can make it happen. Absolutely, but hey, it's gonna be something serious. What's a realistic fight Jake would get? A realistic fight Jake Paul would get if we wanted it to be. If we wanted it to be a real fight, like an actual fight, looking at what could be on the horizon, with how Jake Paul normally takes big fights, only big fights, Jai Apata. That would be Jai Apata. That would be the realest fight. And I hate it. I know. I despise it. But that's the realest thing. Because he's not going to take anything that isn't a big name, big money grab, and a mega fight that he feels he could win. And if it's for a title, okay, fine. Great. He already turned down Artur Beterbiev. And Artur Beterbiev offered him a shot. Genuinely. After that Tyson fight. He turned down Daniel Dubois. And Daniel Dubois offered him a shot after that Tyson fight. He did. You can go look back and look it up. He sent him DMs and everything. The only other fight I can see that he would take, that he might stupidly feel he could actually win, would be Jai Apata. And because of the money that Australia always doles out with the amount of times they support their fighter, and they can't stand Jake Paul either. Oh, they hate that, but they despise that cat. They'll pay out in droves. So for a payday, a potential big title shot against the biggest name that they can do, that might be in the realm of Jake Paul's own mind of beatability, it would be Jai Apata. Though he would die, he would get destroyed. He would absolutely get destroyed. That's the realest thing I can think of. He's not fighting Bebo. He's not fighting Artur Beterbiev. He's not fighting David Benavidez. He's not fighting Cerudo. He's not fighting Daniel Dubois. He's not fighting Tyson Fury. You won't even fight Deontay Wilder. I promise you. He won't even fight. And the real most realistic one, the real actual most realistic one of a fight that will almost surely happen, Tank Davis. Tank. That's more likely than Jai Apata. Tank. That fight is still well and good on the cards. If Tank beats Lamont Welch, be prepared. That fight with Jake Paul is coming next. Almost 60-40. Because he won't fight Teofimo Lopez. He won't fight Devin Haney. He won't fight Shakur. Though Turkey wants Tank and Shakur to fight, he won't. Until he proves otherwise, he won't, because he hasn't done it, and he could have done it already. He could have made it. He could have gotten all the money in the world. He could have had 3 of some of the biggest fights on his docket right then and there for the past 2 years, and he never did. He's not going to. He was going to fight Jake Paul after Lamont Roach. That was already set in stone. He will fight Tank Davis before anybody. That's the most realistic and actual financially viable move. Because Tank was already on board with it when it initially was going to happen. So if Tank wins this time, it can happen and almost assuredly will happen again. This time, they will get to the ring. That's the most realistic thing. And I hate it. But that's the most realistic. More than Jai Apata, that's the most realistic thing that would happen. That's the most, and I hate it. But that's what will happen. But said the only one he gonna do is upside Canelo said, yeah, I'm telling you, I told you all, this is the real Crawford. That is what he says now, that he switched on. This is what he means. His actions, his demeanor, the stuff before Skull versus now when they got face to face, this is what Crawford really stands on. This is why I said Charlo wasn't even talking like this. He wasn't. Crawford respects Canelo, but he doesn't respect Canelo. There's a difference. Crawford respects the Canelo. He respects the greatness. He respects the resume, but he doesn't respect Canelo when it comes to ability. When it comes to, you can't beat me. You can't beat me. He doesn't respect him. He's walking in like, yeah, you're in the ring with me. It's not the other way around. Don't get it twisted. I'm more than here. This is my fight. That's why Canelo was so taken aback. That's why he all of a sudden, you saw that look on his face. He was indeed upset. He was hot. Because all of a sudden you walking in here like, this is your show when it's my show. That's not how Crawford's rolling. This is Crawford wants this. Crawford desires this. Crawford relishes this. And Crawford knows, brother, this is my ring. That's how he's walking into it. This ain't yours. This is, I don't care if you built this, brother. I run this. That's how he's walking. And Canelo is that type of bravado from anybody beyond the likes of Floyd Mayweather. Canelo ain't never seen that before. Because this is different. This ain't Floyd, who is already established as, again, Crawford's already established one of the best of all time. We understand it. He's one of the greatest boxers we've ever seen of this era and beyond. Yes, but there's still, again, Floyd was Floyd. If you weren't Floyd, Canelo wasn't going to take that level of smack. Because, again, it's Floyd. Crawford doing this as if, again, he's Floyd. Canelo in his mind is saying, hey, brother, I don't know who you think this is. But one, you ain't Floyd, and two, I'm not who I used to be with Floyd. Don't come at me like that. You must not know who I am. That's how he's feeling. Disrespected. Demeaned. Seen as a stepping stool. That's how Crawford is in Canelo's mind, that's how Crawford is treating him. And that is something that Canelo just can't stand for. So Canelo's hot. He's living. In this type of bravado, it's more than just talk, but Crawford, what did Paul Heyman used to say? That's not a prediction, it's a spoiler. When he was working with Brock Lesnar as his manager, that's not a prediction, it's a spoiler. That's what he would say when every match would come up with Brock Lesnar. That is what we're witnessing when it comes to Canelo and Crawford. Crawford's walking around saying, this is what I'm going to do. It's not a prediction. It's a spoiler. What I'm going to do to you. Oh, it's a spoiler. Go on. I'm telling you what's going to happen. I'm telling you the ending. And there's nothing you can do about it. That's what we're seeing with Crawford doing to Canelo. And it's insane. It's ridiculous. I love it. I absolutely love it. It's incredible. I can't wait for more of it. I can't lie. I cannot wait for more of it. But let me see. Ja will literally kill him. Jake is never fighting out but time. Yeah, like I said, that's the only brother I would see outside of Tank that might be a viable name for him. Because again, at this point, people don't want to see him fight against other old legends. They didn't want to see it in the first place. They just want to see Tyson look. They want to see Tyson beat Tyson one last time, thinking that he still had that same killer instinct like he did in 2020, 2021, in terms of physical ability. But he just ain't got it anymore. Age beats everybody, even the great Mike Tyson. Now, the only thing that people will care about is actual great fights. I promise you, this fight with Jake Paul versus Chavez, it won't even get as much fanfare as you think, because people are now tuned out. You beat an old man. We don't care no more. You beat Mike Tyson, who shouldn't have been in the ring in the first place. And you try to tout him as something big and special. We don't care no more. We don't. And we have seen that. That's how Bud see it, though. Like he close to Mayweather. Yes. In fact, he thinks, hey, I'm not Mayweather. That's why I can talk like that, because I'm not Mayweather. But I'm Terrence Crawford. But I'm pound for pound number 3 or number 2 or number 1. I'm above you in the ranks. I've accomplished the same thing you did, 2-time undisputed. About to be 3 if I beat you. I am on a road to success. And unlike you at 175, the time that you failed, I'm not going to fail like you did against Bebo. I'm going to beat you. I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you that I'm not Floyd because I'm going to hurt you. I'm not going to just box you, but I'm going to hurt you. I'm not going to just outmaneuver you. And my skills going to pay the bills, absolutely. But I'm not just going to go and show all the technical ability and outclass you. I'm going to hurt you. I'm going to hurt you. That's what he's thinking. Yeah, you're right. You're right and you're wrong. He thinks he's on the level of Floyd. Sure. He also thinks he's not Floyd at all. He thinks, brother, I ain't Floyd. That's why you better be scared. Because, brother, I ain't just going to let you go out. If I can injure, if you think I'm gonna catch you, if I catch you the same way Floyd was catching you in your fight against him, you ain't going home. If I am able to counter you and score on you the same way Floyd was able to score on you and render everything that you did obsolete, if I do that same thing to you, you're not going home that night. You're not. That's how Crawford's thinking. That's what Crawford believes. That's his MO. If I do what Floyd does to you, unlike Floyd, you're not going home. That's how he feels. Because, brother, I'm a different beast. I'm a dog. I'm more than a dog. I'm the dog. That's what he feels like. And that's what makes it so incredible. That's what makes it so exciting. I got friends from UFC. Yes, I do too. I do as well. If they ever fought, if it's Francis that fought against the likes of Fury, absolutely. Jake Paul ain't got the power over Anthony Joshua. No question. And this time, physically, Francis could literally hug on him and walk him down, out-grapple him in the clinch. And Jake Paul wouldn't be able to use his legs to get away. And again, if you're not Anthony Joshua, you're not knocking out Francis Ngannou. Again, Francis Ngannou got knocked out by at that point in time, the second biggest puncher in the division, behind Deontay Wilder, and in front of the likes of Zhili Zhang, Big Bang Zhang, excuse me. No, Zhang. I'm sorry, Zhang. No, it's Zhang. Big Bang Zhang. Behind Wilder and Zhang. AJ, or behind Wilder and above Zhang. AJ had the second most powerful punch in the division, bar none. And Ngannou getting knocked out by that is not disrespectful. It's like, hey, if it was going to happen, he can do it. Jake Paul is not Anthony Joshua. Jake Paul is not even a bad version of Anthony Joshua. Jake Paul is lower than the worst version of Anthony Joshua. He's lower than the worst version of Ruiz. He is lower than the worst version of anybody's favorite boxer. There is no boxer at their worst that Jake Paul would be better than at his best. In terms of actual legitimate contender. No. We know this. No. So because of that, no. Jake Paul, there's a reason why Jake Paul, if it was going to be the case, Jake Paul would have challenged Ngannou already. If that was the case, that Jake Paul really felt he could beat him, he would have challenged Francis Ngannou already, directly after Jake Paul, or directly after AJ knocked out Francis Ngannou. That would have been the next fight. That would have been the next fight. But of course it was. You know why? Not just because of the PFL deal that Ngannou's got, but also Jake Paul is never going to sniff that. Because Jake Paul he is a smart businessman. He is stupid in a lot of things. And many people despise him, rightfully so, for the things that he is incredibly abhorrent with. But when it comes to picking his career, he's smart. He ain't going to do stupid stuff, as stupid as he is, that he knows he will die. He ain't going to do that. He will never do that. So he'll never fight him. I guarantee you, he will never fight him. But again, what else do y'all want to discuss? We still got some time. We're only, 2 hours, 25 minutes into this show. We got some time. We can do about 10 more minutes. What do y'all want to discuss in the world about? Almost forgot. We still got some more stuff we can talk about. Like with, real quick, NBA champions, OKC. They won it. They did it. Sadly, off the backs of Halliburton tearing his Achilles. My gosh, the shame of it all. Talk about a Cinderella run that sadly got cut short in the worst way possible. But it went to a game 7. Pacers should be proud of this incredible season that they put up. They're going to be out in terms of any playoff contention for the year because Halliburton, he ain't going to be coming back until next season. Like next season. Good gosh. But hold their heads up high, and they got a great core that can get back to a title once Halliburton comes back, and they can retool, they can regroup. Use this time to get some better pieces in preparation for Halliburton's return throughout this offseason. Sure, you ain't gonna be as great, but you can prepare yourself to be even better next season. Absolutely. OKC, phenomenal run, incredible run. Historically, one of the best defenses that we've ever seen. Point differential wise and offensively, they were defensively, one of the most indomitable forces that this squad has offered. And they did what was expected of them. When with other teams, we've seen it. They didn't live up to their potential. You should be able to win a title. They won a title. They did it. Circumstances aside, they did it. Now next season, you gotta defend it. No question. But SGA, Finals MVP, regular season MVP, scoring champ as well. Only been done by the likes of Shaq, Kareem, and I think Michael Jordan. Insane levels of work. No question about it. All respect and all applause to them. But now that this is done, NBA season moving and shaking. June Holiday just got sent from the Celtics to Portland. Portland gave up Anthony Simons going to Boston. Portland's going to try to flip June Holiday potentially into another bevy of picks and or a bigger star. So we can see June moving out the way to another spot. Maybe Los Angeles, maybe the Suns. There's a plethora of teams that we can see this player in June Holiday go and ship off to. And the Celtics ain't done giving away people. Be on the lookout for Derek White. Be on the lookout for Kristaps Porzingis, Al Horford, potentially even Peyton Pritchard. A good chunk of the core that we see the Boston Celtics having and have been winning with and have been retaining. They're going to have to get them out. Be prepared for some moves to be made in this season. And also, Kevin Durant. Hey, it happened again. Buddy got traded to Houston from the Phoenix Suns. And now, Phoenix got Jalen Green, Bradley Beal, and Devin Booker on the same floor with each other. And that's about to be basketball purgatory. Oh my gosh. Talk about a shame. Talk about oh gosh. Devin Booker's probably looking around and saying, hey brother, what have I done? What did I get myself into? Again, we have to call it. But that experiment of that big three, Bill, Booker, and KD, was a failure. They messed up. And now they're looking to get Bradley Beal off of their team finally. But at this point, nobody wants Bradley Beal on their team. They can't trade for that, but except for a bag of chips. Probably a 3rd round pick, maybe a bench player. Because nobody wants Bradley Beal on their roster. Nobody. So it's going to be hard pressed to get anybody invested in trying to make a move for him. So the Suns, and specifically Devin Booker, but they're in a bad way. They're in a very bad way right now. So it's going to be insane. But let me see. Burma Severn beat Jake. Yes. Now, Burma Severn at this point in time, it still ain't great. But yeah, if he's consistently fighting again, yeah, he beat him. He would. He would, like I said, contender status. They're beating Jake Paul. Because Jake Paul's not all that great. Let's see. Negotiating. Well, my birthday's in September. Hey, it's around the same time as Canelo versus Crawford. So I'm going to be celebrating down that road, baby. We're going to party anyway. Absolutely. Let me see. Waiting is a whole cake island. We over here taking up that straw. Hey, brother. Hey, look. Wait, I ain't going to lie. I'm at war with all of y'all. Big Mom, straw hats, don't matter. Brother, this empire, we running the ship. We try to take over the 7 seas on our own way. Absolutely. So hey, look, when I come through to your city, when I come through to your island, brother, hey, look out. Look, you ain't Strides ain't the only people you got to worry about. Oh, this crew, the Empire, we coming, we growing. We get our own cavalcade and cast of characters that are going to just run roughshod over the 7 seas over here in the new world. I promise you that. I guarantee you, absolutely. No question about that. Oh, Lord. Be prepared now. We'll make some friends, but hey, don't think it's sweet around here when it comes to taking over the seas. When it comes to being the Pirate King, hey, man, I'll party with you. But hey, once the party's done, we going to war. We going to war. I promise you that. I guarantee, devil food or not, we going to war about it. But again, we still got some time. Roughly 5 minutes left in the show. What else do you all want to discuss on the show? Oh, we can talk about Deontay Wilder real quick before I let you go. We can talk about this more on Thursday as well. We can talk about Deontay Wilder and him coming back this weekend. Oh yeah, let's not forget that's happened. Let's not forget. In fact, do I have that as one of the talking points? Good guys, we talk so much about Canelo. Shoot. Oh, I want to dang it. I want to talk about Shakur. Dang. Shoot. Oh, we got so caught up with Canelo versus Crawford. We didn't even get to discuss everything about the other topics of the show. I almost completely forgot. We're gonna be fine. But shoot. Oh my goodness. Real quick while we got some time. Wilder returns this week, and he's coming back against Herndon Dawn, same buddy who fought against the likes of what was his name? Was it Ricardo? Was it Richard Torres? That's what I'm thinking of. Richard Torres. Got nothing about Torres. Now making it return to the ring, going up against the likes of Wilder. Will we see Wilder potentially, finally, hopefully, look like the Wilder of old, at least in some semblance of capacity? Because like we've been saying, this is the last chance. It's last chance. Let me see. Hold on. Let me see. Did you see Edgar Berlanga talking down in what did he say? I didn't see that. Hold on. Wait a minute. While we're still on the topic of Wilder for now, let me look up let me look this up with Edgar Berlanga. Hold on now. Wait a minute. Hold up a second. Let me see right now what you got to say. Oh, and speaking of which, as we're quickly scrolling through, if anybody's a boxer on this show or listening to this show and you want to get on the undercard of Canelo versus Crawford, hey, now's your time. Now's your moment. Because as you can see, we're searching for 6 young boxers looking for a chance at their talent. Send in your... They trying to fill up the undercard now. So if you're trying to be a boxer and you want to get your feet wet on the biggest fight of the year and get yourself a payday and fill out this undercard, they say they're looking for contenders. They're looking for actual, boxers, not just big names. They're looking for talent. Looking for people to expose to the world. It's your time. Send it in. To put a training video in. Tell us why you've earned this opportunity. Tag Ring Magazine. Let's see what you got. Hopefully you get on there. And if you do, bing, bang, boom. Hey, shout us out. Absolutely. Put us on the docket. And shout us out that, hey, we heard about the opportunity from the Welch. Hey, yeah. Oh, I'm telling you, we're going to make it known. Absolutely. But let me see. Because Kurt said he should be the main event. Edgar didn't. Oh, I didn't see that. Ooh, wait a minute. Wait a second. I want to see what he actually said now. Because if I'm gonna be real, if I'm gonna be real about this, hey brother, he ain't Shakur ain't wrong. Shakur is not wrong. Oh gosh, voice crack. Shakur is not wrong. he ain't wrong at all. That brother is not, he ain't wrong. Neither guy said anything too crazy. Like, you're right. No, like, I agree with Shakur. Like, Shakur should be the main event of this card. He should. He's the bigger name. He's the bigger star. This is potentially setting up Tank Davis against, again, another high octane. He's going up against a high octane, very much dangerous fighter in William Zepeda, who is also action packed and indeed is going to bring the fight. There's no reason why that shouldn't be the undercard or that shouldn't be the main event. No question. Now, I get it. Chavez versus Berlanga, we're expecting, fireworks, a great end to the night if that fight is at the main event, but it shouldn't be. Also, Shakur's a champion with status at that. Edgar Berlanga, again, his last fight was against a bump. With all due respect, it was against a bump. That everybody said, hey, buddy, that doesn't show us anything about what you are doing to be a better fighter. It doesn't. It didn't show us the doggone thing at all. And so it doesn't give us any confidence in what you are developing as a champion, developing as a fighter, developing as a star. And your cachet from that fight has not been nowhere close to the level that you think it is. It does after you fought Canelo. So there's no reason that this should be, and honestly, a real bad position. From the standpoint of, yeah, take run against it, sure. Disrespect, you don't want to take that. I get it. You are the main event. You don't want to be down talked because you are the guy headlining the show. I understand. But at the same time, Shakur is right. He's right. He is right. Because as much as you fought against Canelo and we gave you your props, you ain't done nothing since then to help sustain that high cachet that you were getting by the public. And you haven't done yourself any service to make you a bigger name and a bigger closing the show marquee for the likes of, over the likes of Shakur Stevens, especially against the William Zepeda. Nah, that should be. Let's see. But nobody paying to see Kerr. His last main event, people walked out during the fight. Now, again, you're right, they did. But mind you, watching that fight, that was not a boring fight. Shakur against Padley with a broke hand was not a boring fight. It wasn't. Shakur got multiple knockdowns, knocked him out to the body, and was walking him down and being offensively aggressive. They walked out because the predisposed mindset was, yeah, it's Shakur Stevenson. Oh, why would you want to see it? But he fought through injury and fought in the manner that we had all been saying. I talked about it on this show. He fought in a way that we were all saying, yes, this is what we want from Shakur. And him going up against Zepeda is going to be a fight that will indeed make it so that people will want to stick around because it's William Zepeda. And so I understand Shakur, even by proxy of him being Shakur, can hurt his stock because his reputation is what his reputation is. I get it. But even with his reputation being what it is, it's still bigger than what Berlanga does or has turned into. I have not seen one person say, I'm paying to see Edgar Berlanga. Everybody's paying to see Shakur Stevenson. They are. We can talk about it all we want. The driver for this fight, the most talked about fight for this whole night, is Shakur Stevenson and William Zepeda. It's not Berlanga and Chavez. It isn't. If anything, Chavez is coming off a fight that he should have lost, not a draw against Carlos Adames. And Berlanga's coming off of a win against a bump that really didn't help do anything to grow his reputation after losing to Canelo in a fight that we all said you lost, but you showed more promise than we expected. He didn't capitalize on it. Nothing. Both people in those resorts of Canelo, of Berlanga and Chavez are both at a low point right now. They are. And they're not even what's driving the conversation for why people are waiting on this card. If Chavez and Berlanga were just on this card alone without Shakur versus Zepeda, would you care for this card? Real question. A genuine question. Would you care? Would you care? Would you care? Would you care nearly as much for this card if Chavez and Berlanga were the main event and nothing else? Everything else on that card was the same, but there was no Shakur versus Zepeda. It was just the biggest fight on this night. It's Chavez versus Berlanga. And that's it. Winner gets another shot at Canelo as the leader or as the leading headliner right now for that fight. As what Turkey said. Who? Would you care? Would you care? Would you care? And for most people that I've asked that question to, it would be no. For most. And again, this isn't disrespect. We're trying to keep it real. We're trying to keep it real. That's this fight with Shakur and Zepeda is the fight. Regardless of the sentiment that we have of Shakur, everybody cares about this card because of that fight with Shakur. Not necessarily nearly as much with the fight with Berlanga versus Chavez. Shiraz. My bad. Is it Chavez or Shiraz? Hamzat Shiraz. Oh, Shiraz. It's Shiraz. Hamzat Shiraz. My apologies. Don't mean. Excuse me for mispronouncing. Shiraz. Hamzat Shiraz versus Berlanga. That's the correct way to say it. My apologies. Let me see. I agree. I agree. Kerr should be the main event. Seems like another rookie move by Riyadh Season. And again, the reason why this is the move is because, again, I get why. I just don't agree with it. Because people complain that Shakur has boring fights. Yes, put on two perceived heavy-handed punchers that are more likely to make a knockout at the end of the night to be your main event. I get it. End the night with a literal bang instead of what we expect to see, which is a masterclass in boxing, but one that people will complain about. Shakur is doing running, even though Shakur doesn't really run. We get it. I understand the reasoning behind it. Send the fans home with a more likely exciting fight. But still, I just think from the standpoint of star power, I think it's the wrong move. I do think it's the wrong move. Listen, people will leave fights early all the time, trying to beat traffic. ESPN did Kerr Greasy on his way out, showing fans leaving like that. Yeah. Are you right? They did. I can't lie. They did. It helped to keep the stigma of Shakur being a fighter that people don't want to care about alive. That's problematic. That is problematic. I can't lie. But also, let me see. Teach, what's going on, brother? How you doing? Good to see you. Thanks for tuning into the show. Glad that you here. Appreciate you coming aboard. We getting ready to end off the show. We were talking about Wilder returning this week. We are in the championship rounds right now. But shoot, it's 2 hours, 43 minutes. Unless y'all got more stuff you want to discuss, I'm trying to think what else you all want to talk about. I'm down for it, absolutely. We can keep the conversation going. Do you want to talk about Wilder a little bit more in detail? Or you want to say that for Thursday? Do you want to talk about Shakur and Zepeda? Do you want to talk about what we saw, your opinions on the shove with Canelo versus Crawford, which we did get to see and discuss earlier in the week. Or excuse me, I'm sorry, earlier in the show today for the first hour and 30. Because phenomenal talking points. Phenomenal new perception on the power that we see with Canelo versus Crawford, which now is not nearly as bad or as big of a discrepancy as many people may have been saying. Oh yeah, people are now starting to be concerned. So hey, I want to hear from you all for the last 10 minutes of the show. What do you have to say on anything in the ramifications of this? We also talked about some NBA trades. We talked about it all, absolutely. Let me see. If Wilder smashes Buddy, If Wilder smashes a buddy, do you think they might look at doing AJ versus Wilder? Finally, yes, they will. Yes, they will. Oh, I promise. They have to. They have to at this point. They have to. They have to. If Wilder KOs Herndon, they have to look at Wilder versus AJ now as the fight to make. With AJ coming off of a demonstrative KO to Dubois, and AJ wanting to come back, both of them are their saving graces. AJ has to fight Wilder now, just to show that you can still compete at a semblance of a high level. He has to. And then with Wilder, if you want to show you're any form of elite at all, you got to beat AJ. You got to. If you lose to AJ, that's it. There's no more. There's no Usyk fight. There's no Dubois fight. There's no Big Bang Zhang. There's no Joseph Parker. That's it. You're done. You're done. We've been saying you're done. We've been saying you're done for the past 3 fights that you've been in. Hey, yes. But this time, AJ's a different story. But if you lose to AJ, that's the biggest and last elite name that you have the opportunity to fight against. Because you already lost to Zhang. You already lost to Joseph Parker. You already lost to Tyson Fury twice. You don't, that's it. Andy Ruiz ain't gonna fight you, most likely. It might be because of money, but even then, it's shaky. Jarrell Miller, probably not. Though that fight can happen, I don't know if it will. But there's so much that there's just so much that I'm telling you, this is his last shot at getting a fight with a big name. He has to win. Because if he doesn't win, no more. No more. I don't want to see this brother here no more. I don't. I'm gonna be real. I don't want to see this brother here no more. If he loses against Herndon, I don't want to see him anymore. If he loses against AJ, I don't want to see him anymore. And it's not because I'm just trying to hate him. For his own health, I don't want to see him. I don't. But if you saw what Big Bang Zhang did to you, there's a 50-50 shot. Both of you all are going to fight with reckless abandon. And AJ can catch you just as much as AJ, as you can catch AJ. It's scary. It's horrifying. It's terrible. I'm so serious, man. We've been saying this a couple times, but this is Wilder's last shot. If he ever wants a big fight again, he's got to beat Herndon. He's got to. And at least do it in a manner that we can all be confident. Okay, he's got a semblance back. He's got to. I'm telling you, it's got to happen. Let me see. Jay Clear, what's good with you? How you doing? Good to see you. Wilder versus Usyk. Nope. That fight ain't happening. That fight is not happening. That fight ain't happening because Usyk's got 2 fights left. One of them is going to be against a Daniel Dubois. The other one might be against a Moses Atuma. It could be against, a Tyson Fury hypothetically for a 3rd time. It could be against the other plethora of heavyweights. Ajit Kabayel might be there. There's a litany of people. There's a litany of people that Usyk can fight. Wilder is nowhere close because Wilder is nowhere in the conversation of being in the championship aspirations. He ain't. And with Usyk only got 2 fights left, one after Dubois, that ain't happening. I promise you that ain't happening. Will be a good fight. Usyk beats him, destroys him. But, hey, it will never happen. I like Wilder versus Big Pharma in New York City, or AJ versus Wilder. Are you talking about Jarrell Miller? Wait. Are you talking about Jarrell Miller? Big Pharma? Is that Wait, hold up. Unless I'm missing it. Are you saying that Jarrell Miller, aka Big Pharma, because of the steroids that he's gone through. That's the. That's funny. If that is the joke, that's hilarious. That's funny. But hey, that would be for an entertaining fight. I can't lie. I can't lie if it was going to happen. But again, AJ versus Wilder in London, that's more likely the fight that we're going to see happen. More likely than not, because it's got to. The iron will never get as hot as it is right now, because it ain't been hot in years. That's the issue. The iron has to happen now, or you got to cook the food now, or never, because it's sizzled down so much that you might as well go on and get it done, or there's no point. At some point, there's not going to be a point. At some point, there's not going to be a point. That's the issue. So that's the fight you got to make happen. Usyk versus Fury 3, I wouldn't mind seeing it. Though I think I know what's going to happen. That Usyk would win. It will still be a great fight. But it's a possibility. But again, right now, that last fight for Usyk, if he does beat Daniel Dubois, the world's wide open for him. Let me see. And Wilder is angry again. Wifey done left him, career looking shaky. Hopefully we get a dangerous, desperate Wilder. I don't care how angry he gets. He will not be the same until he changes his coach. I don't care how angry he gets. If he can't fight like that, if he can't fight to make that anger fulfill his full capabilities, I don't care what happens to him. I care what happens to him in and outside the ring. And I want his family life to be great. I want everything to be okay, please. I do. I care about what happens to him outside the ring. But no matter how bad, no matter how mad things may get him, and how much he's got that angry fervor, I want a body type of mentality back in his system. Sure. If you can't use it, you can't do it. And the only way he can use it is to get Mark Breland back in his corner. That's the only way. Get Mark Breland back. Get Breland back. Get Breland back. If you don't get Breland back, it's not gonna work. If you don't get Breland back, it's not gonna work. If you don't get Breland back, it's not gonna work. I promise you. It's the only brother that got you fighting in any way close to what you can be, that maximized all your athleticism and power and hid to the best of its ability the lack of boxing ability that you had. And even then, you were boxing better with Breland than you were with Malik Scott. You were boxing, as much of a bad boxer as you are, you were boxing better with him than you were with Malik Scott. Complete shame. Absolutely ridiculous. Get him back. If you don't, you're going to mess yourself up. You're going to mess Usyk Dubois 2 in Wales or 2 Wales. Or excuse me, Usyk Dubois 2 in Wales. There's a possibility. Yeah. I can see if Dubois wins. If Dubois wins this, that'll make for a great rematch. If he does win this, I wouldn't mind seeing that. I wouldn't mind seeing that at all. Is he left out? Yeah, man. I'm telling you, Malik Scott messed him up. Malik Scott messed him up. And it's just to say, Tommy Fury versus, oh gosh, oh Lord, oh please don't, oh please no, please no, please no, please no, 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 I don't want to see that fight. Please, I don't want to see that fight anymore. Because at this stage now, I hate to say it, Jake Paul would beat Tommy Fury now. At this stage. Because Jake Paul's better than Tommy Fury now, in my estimation. He wasn't before. And that was on his level. But Tommy Fury has not been nearly as active, more as consistent in the boxing game as Jake Paul. Jake Paul has, in regards to what we want to say, he's elevated himself. I hate it, but it's true. He's elevated himself in a way that Tommy Fury just has not. He's stagnated. And so because of that, Jake Paul would beat him. In a rematch, Jake Paul would beat him. But I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it. Yeah, see. Yeah, Malik Scott has been a disaster for his career. Absolutely no question about it. I like Wilder. I hope he bounces back. I hope too. I do hope so as well. Oh, no question. I hope so. I hope on everything that Wilder does come back and show us what he used to be. Just fight like he used to. That's all I'm asking. Fight with the reckless abandon. Fight with spamming the 1-2, spamming that jab straight, using that jab straight combination. Because I don't care what anybody said. It was the best 1-2 in the division. It was. It was. It was. Wilder's 1-2 was the best and most dangerous 1-2 in all of boxing, or at least in the heavyweight division. The speed at which you could step in and land that jab from a mile away, from across the ring, and immediately follow up with that right hand was ridiculous. Nobody else in the division had that. Nobody. He was one of the greatest athletic freaks in this division. I'm so serious. And he had power to boot. He was like, he was indeed great. He was indeed great. He got away from that. He got away from it. Teddy Atlas said it best. You need a delivery system to make it so that what works for you can work for you. You need a delivery system, your best punch, your best attribute, your best means of victory. You got to find a way to deliver it. I don't care how much you can land. You got to be able to land the punch in the first place. And you can't do it without having a delivery system to set it up. He used to have that. And it was one of the best in the heavyweight division, regardless of all his other deficiencies, which there were many. He had the best 1-2 in the heavyweight division. The most dangerous 1-2 punch, jab right straight, that the division had to offer. And he was a master at it. At his best, he was a master at that 1-2. It was the only thing that he mastered, but it worked. It worked every time because he knew what to do. He got away from it. That's the problem. He got away from that. And because it did, it hurt him for it. It absolutely hurt him. Jake Paul versus KSI, that fight should have already happened. That fight should have happened 3 years ago. That fight should have happened well before all of this UFC fighting that we see take place. Because now, KSI shouldn't get in the ring with that. He shouldn't get in the ring with that. Because KSI, as much, again, he's so unorthodox, especially with his most recent fight. It's abysmal. But it'll work against those people. It won't work. That won't work against Jake Paul. That's being objective. That won't work. That will not work against Jake Paul. That will not work against Jake Paul. Not at all. Not at all. Because no, just no. Just no. And again, that fight would sell, and it needs to go ahead and happen. But it should have happened already. Should have happened already. The fact that it didn't, it hasn't, just is a shame. It's a crying shame. And I can't stand it. I can't stand it. Let me see. Wilder's speed is just insane. I can never take that away from him. That was his best attribute outside of his power. His speed and quickness. It's not just speed. Speed is just the speed is top end. How fast can you go? But quickness and explosiveness is how quickly you can get to that top speed. He had that at a way that Usyk ain't got right now. Tyson Fury never had. Nobody in the heavyweight division had the quickness of Deontay Wilder. Nobody in the division had the explosiveness of Deontay Wilder. Nobody. And he got away from that game plan. That's what made it. That's what made it work. And they're extremely explosive. You beat me to it in the comments. Extremely explosive. Wilder, him being explosive, it was his greatest attribute to date. And he got away from that. And that's what cost him most stuff in his boxing artillery. Because he went away from the stuff that was the best, the most dangerous weapons for him. He got away from them. And it messed him up. Let's see. What do you think about Boston Celtics trading away Holiday for Simons? This is, I can't lie, I can't lie. I can't lie at all. It's good. It's really good. From you all having to retool like you all got to because of the whole makeup of essentially being over the cap, and you have to give up people. Brother, you made it so that you got Anthony Simons, another great scorer who's going to potentially be able to flourish without having to be the biggest vocal point on offense for this team, who is incredibly explosive, who is a great three-point shooter and a great in isolation scorer in his own way. Ain't got the defense that Jrue Holiday has, absolutely. Ain't the passer or essentially isn't the, I don't want to call it facilitator, but he still does make mistakes from the standpoint of driving the offense, being the playmaker also for his team. But you see, he's not as secure with the ball as Jrue Holiday. But you got Jason Tatum for that. You got Jaylen Brown for that. From the standpoint of just initiating offense, you can get around that. And now you have an even better three-headed perimeter monster from the standpoint of offensive scoring, though you got worse defensively. And as a player, yeah, I'm taking Jrue before I take Simons as a player for what I value. Understand it. I think most people would, because that defense coupled with the consistent offense and ability to spread the floor, and he can also get a bucket in his own right in terms of Jrue Holiday. Yes, better player. But what we thought they would have to sacrifice with as much as they're going to have to give up this season, brother, it's starting out pretty good. Hey, it's starting out pretty well. If this is what you get back in Anthony Simons, oh, shoot. But that's insane. That makes people like Peyton Pritchard, you can afford to potentially let them go, to get more assets that are cheaper. You can now afford to get rid of Kristaps potentially and be more open to driving talks with conversation to trades with some of your bigger pieces that maybe you weren't as privy with trying to or privy with letting go with and wanting to hold on with. Now, bing bang boom. But you got yourself, if this is what you can get now, coupled with the race for teams like the Suns to get rid of people and potentially have to rebuild. Portland, probably looking to get rid of more people because, hey, they're probably going to flip Jrue Holiday. They could potentially go and trade with some more folks. You could potentially do a back-to-back trade with them if you wanted to. Lakers, looking to make some trades. You got a bevy of options that you can go and retool and regroup and be okay and still have a complete team. This is a great start to your offseason. I told you all, don't get worried with what's going on, though you lost a lot of options, though you lost or you're going to lose a lot of your key pieces that got you that title. Because you'll be able to retool and regroup. You will. I'm telling you, you will. And it's starting out right now. This is great. It's phenomenal. I'm excited for it. Let's see. I agree. Facts. Hey man, yeah, it's great. It's a good start. It's a good. Y'all might not be. Shoot, y'all still might be right back into top 3 team in the league by the time next season starts. I guarantee you, it's gonna be scary. Y'all are looking scary because y'all got all the pieces that everybody wants. You got the pieces that every team in the league wants. So you're going to be fine with being able to retool and it not hurt you or hurt your bank. I'm serious. It seems like the NBA finally figured out the formula to get real parity in the league. No, not dynasties, no more super teams. Yeah, it's working. I'm telling you, this second apron is ridiculous, causing people to have to go through and really and really reevaluate how they go about. Hold on, I'm just trying to check something real quick. How they go about making their squad and making their team, because they gotta be smarter. Now, I don't like the fact that this hurts opportunities to let it so that sustained or good teams that have quality, but it's not a super team. It doesn't allow for them to be able to keep what they've built. That's the one thing I don't like. It causes for less dynasties from the standpoint of even teams that built the right way. You won't be able to keep that roster for potentially more than 2 years before you got to shell it out because of money. That's the only thing I don't like. I like the super team situation or the lack thereof. I just don't like that fact of really good teams potentially won't be able to stay together as long because of the fact of, hey, we can't afford you. And so that is the only thing I don't like. But let me see what people have to keep on reading. But again, it's good. It's good as far. Let me see. Does he teach? True, absolutely. Let's see. Jay Clear. Lauren Price. Now let me see. What news? Let me see what's going on with Lauren Price. Has she? Did she call out? Has she called out somebody? You talking about the boxer Lauren Price, 9-0, 2 KOs, fought Natasha Jones in the unanimous decision. Looking to be right now second best welterweight in the women's division in the world. Has she called out somebody right now? If we're now again, full disclaimer, we focus on more so men's boxing and men's sports, not because we're trying to be only privy or not trying to care. Most of the audience that tunes in, they men's boxing, men's pound for pound, NBA, and somewhat the NFL. Those are the main topics. So women's boxing, we keep up with it, but we don't talk about it as much. So full disclaimer, not trying to say I'm trying to force myself to not be informed, but by proxy of the audience's regime or the audience's sways. It's not the main thing that we discuss. So full disclaimer, if we can't talk about it in the same vein that you would like, we do apologize. But that's what our show has been built on thus far. So full disclaimer. But regardless of which, has she called out anybody? She has. Most recently, she's shown that she showed interest in fighting. I think Michaela Mayer and or Clarissa Shields. Who, mind you, I think Clarissa Shields getting ready to fight at heavyweight again. Is she getting ready to fight at heavyweight again? I know she defended the title. She won the heavyweight title in dominating fashion. Who was it that she beat? I mean, just knocked it out clean. Who was it that she beat? Dang it, I'm trying to figure it out. Who in the world did Clarissa Shields beat for the heavyweight title? If somebody's got it, please send it to me. I'm not trying to stall. I'm trying to actually get it. Okay, yeah. So she beat Vanessa. She KO'd Vanessa Lee Page. I think Joannis for the unified for 3 of the 4 belts in the heavyweight division, and then beat Danielle Perkins, knocked her down in round 10. Won almost the entirety of the fight and became the undisputed heavyweight champion. Now she's getting ready to fight Leanne Daniels on next month. Actually, she's getting ready to fight Lonnie Daniels on July 26th to defend her undisputed heavyweight title. And so again, which should be incredibly fun and exciting to watch. But outside of that, don't really know any other news on Lauren Price as a fight or of recently. Outside of entertaining Shields and entertaining Mayer, don't know any recent news on what's going up next with her in her career thus far. But we'll keep you updated as we keep on looking. Dr. versus Dubois. Now that's a fight I would like to see. If Dubois is able to beat Usyk, I would love to see that fight. I'd love to see that. I'd love to see that fight. Oh, that would be stupendous. That would be phenomenal. That would be incredible. I would love that if it did indeed happen. But let me keep on reading. Yeah, she's about to smash Leanne Daniels. I'm expecting it. Because look how Clarissa Shields have been running. Brother, she's continually outclassing everybody that she's in the ring with. Outclassing just about everybody. Oh my gosh, it's ridiculous. It's insane. It is insane. MC Danielle Perkins, yeah. I'll show you it right now. I'll see. I'm looking at it. This is when Clarissa Shields became undisputed, 16-0 at this point in time, 15-0 going into this fight. She beat Daniela Perkins at heavyweight for the undisputed title, and absolutely, I mean, she beat him. She beat him clean. Beat him clean. Knocked him down around 10. Remember when she knocked her head back and had her like going slump for a hot minute? In the last couple seconds of the 10th round, where both gloves touched the mat, and she was out for a smooth second before catching her balance, but still her gloves touched the mat. Yeah, she beat her clean. I remember that fight. She beat her clean. And so now she's getting ready to fight Lonnie Daniels at heavyweight, again at 175, to defend her heavyweight title. So it's insane. It's ridiculous. I'm sorry. Lonnie looked terrified. Guo, and her style is tailor-made for the Guo. Yeah, it's you ain't wrong. You are not wrong. You are not wrong in the slightest. Brother, I don't know. I don't think there's anybody in the heavyweight division really that can mess with the likes of that can mess with her. I don't think there's anybody in the division that can mess with the likes of Clarissa Shields, right? At least at heavyweight. She's just too fast for all of them. She's too fast for all of them and got the pop to punch with them. It's insane. It truly is insane. I'm telling you. Okay, and let's see, a Kiwi is just a New Zealander. Nothing. Oh, okay. I didn't know. I didn't even see the word. Hold on. I'm sorry. I'm reading so quick, and I'm reading two different things. I didn't even see that at the first thing. I think I just talking about. So yeah. So I didn't. So a Kiwi is a word for a New Zealander. I did not know that. News to me. News to me. I'm gonna make sure it ain't derogatory. I'm gonna do my research and make sure we ain't trying to. I'll take you at your word. I don't think you mean anything by it, but we try to keep it, as on the up and up when it comes to talking about all races and creeds. Absolutely. So we don't want to do any disrespect. But if it is a term of, just another commonly used and accepted word by the people, by the people, that they are okay with it. Okay, fine. Cool. Absolutely. But also, I didn't know. So okay, so yeah, I didn't do that racial. Okay, that's great. I mean, I know you don't. We've interacted before, absolutely. But just as a, for people that are new to the channel, that may not know, the disclaimers that we normally do with the standards of this show, they may not know how we normally operate. So, but again, I didn't know. That's a new term. Hey, cool, great, phenomenal. Didn't know that's what New Zealand didn't know that's what New Zealanders were called. I'm learning something new. Love it, absolutely. But let me keep on reading what you all got to say. Hey, Floyd, son, how you doing? Glad to see you back. Glad to see that you're turning it. Now, I will say, Floyd, son, we are getting ready to go. You're these last couple chats. This is it, and then we're gonna wrap it up and go home. Because we're at 3 hours. I love it, but we do gotta get out of here. I can't lie. We do gotta go. But let me see what you gotta say, and we will be back on Thursday talking more. Absolutely talking more about what's going on with all of this and more. Not just with Canelo and Crawford, but with other stuff as well in the boxing world and the sports world. So Wilder in 3 days. Let me see. Wilder in 3 days. Then Jake Paul versus Chavez. It's that card. Can't wait. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not excited for the Jake Paul fight. Not excited for it. I can't lie. I'm not excited for that fight. I'm Wilder. Yeah. I want to see what he can do one last time. But the Jake Paul one, I'm not really rocking with it. Not really my cup of tea. I'm sorry. It's not my cup of tea right now. Not my real cup of tea for him. Just full disclaimer. But I'm, again, for the fight, just for all the fights happening. Hey, no problem. We can't wait to see it. Let me see. Excited for Wilder fight, Jake Paul fight, Schofield. Oh, I forgot. Schofield versus Ceruto. Is that this week too? Oh, Schofield and Ceruto. My apologies. Shoot, that's this week. Good gosh. Oh, wait. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, gosh. Wait a minute. Wait 1 minute. Schofield and Zerudo are fighting on the same card. Oh, my gosh. Wait a minute. You're right. That was happening. You know why? Because that doggone video by Oscar De La Hoya, that brother was butt naked on the screen, picking his fights. Dang it. You know what? I think that's why I wasn't excited for the card. Because seeing Oscar De La Hoya make his picks like he did, I'm not even going to pull up the video. Because that violates terms and conditions. If you've seen it, you know why. If you haven't seen it, thank the Lord. If you want to see it, please don't. But if you do, view it at your own risk. But brother, no wonder I wasn't excited for that fight. I completely forgot that fight, all those people were on the same card as Paul versus Chavez, because Oscar De La Hoya single-handedly further pushed my ire to not see this fight happen. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. My gosh. I hate it. I hate it. I can't. Oh, that brought up a bad memory. Oh Lord. Oh my goodness. Again, if you haven't seen Oscar De La Hoya and how he made his picks on social media, view it at your own risk. Be prepared. Viewer discretion is advised. I'm going to tell you that right now. Just so you know. Oh boy, salute to you watching Ilya versus wait, hold on, let me see. Is that, hold on, wait a minute. Before I continue. Hold on, wait a sec. Wait 1 minute. Great day in the morning. That is next week. Good gosh. Oh my gosh. Oliveira versus Ilya Tapora. That's also this weekend. We got a lot. We got, for a fight fan, but we got plenty. Honestly, I'm probably gonna miss it. Been missing mad UFC events. Don't miss this one. If there was ever an event to watch that you could take time out, at least for the main event, Ilya Tapora versus Charles Oliveira, don't miss that one. Please don't miss that one. That's going to be great. That one's going to be good. It's going to be great. Tank versus Welch, August 16th. And also Chavez versus DDP. Yep, that's going to be a great one too. Wait, Voodoo and Kid Austin. Yeah, they are. I forgot. Again, Oscar De La Hoya sadly reminded me. And I put it out of sight, out of mind. And so, let's see. Definitely can't miss that one. It's going to be a great card. Which now I forgot it was going to be that good. And I don't want to see it. But I have to. Because the rest of the card is quality. It's just that one fight. The main event, I can't stand. And so, oh Lord, it's gonna be something serious. Let me see. Been fights been whack lately though. Prospects like Ransom Malik and Wellmaker are killers though. One got one insane punch and the other got power and insane mindset. Yeah, I'm telling you, like I've been covering in the UFC. They something serious. I can't lie. But the whole of, I believe it's UFC. Mansoor. We talking about let me make sure. Let me make sure before I put my foot in my mouth. Let me make sure that we're talking about the same Mansoor who has been not Manor. Come on now. My gosh. I cannot type for days. I'm good. I cannot fight. I cannot type for days. For some odd reason, it is horrible, terrible. My goodness, And my computer's running slow. See, I got so much stuff open. My computer's running slow. Oh, this is terrible. Oh, this is ridiculous. Oh my gosh. But yeah, but no. Let me verify. Somebody, my computer's running slow. Verify with me. Yeah, okay, yeah. Okay, yeah, I got it now. Okay, so yeah, Minnesota Malik and Wellmaker, both of them. You ain't lying. I had to make sure I was referring to the proper people, because I thought I was almost thinking somebody different. Nah, they real. They like this. So we got great prospects up and coming. No question. It's just the problem is the people or the bigger cards, the bigger events on the bigger cards just ain't cutting it. On top of, don't forget, the heavyweight division. Now it's been held hostile for who knows how long, and John Jones finally kicked the bucket in terms of retiring. Thank gosh. Thank goodness. Thank the Lord. He's finally officially retired. That may help the rest of the division get back rolling and help bring some more nuance to the whole of this division, because it has been held back by that brother not wanting to fight at all. It's ridiculous. It really is literally insane. MC, I might have to follow the UFC now closely. Fell off the bandwagon a couple years ago. Yeah, no, it's like I said, big part of it, some degree was I'm not gonna lie, some degree, ironically enough, was matchmaking. Boxing and UFC flip-flopped from the standpoint of who was making fights that people wanted to see and who wasn't. It used to be the UFC was doing it all, and then boxing wasn't. Now boxing's doing it all, and UFC is on the downtrend. Especially with the fights like Tom Aspinall versus John Jones. Now John Jones is done. Thank gosh. But it was holding up the division for nothing. Wasn't doing anything. Kept flip-flopping. But if you're going, I don't care how much your legacy is driven. Just like with everybody, if you are the champion, you still got something to prove until you quit. Until you retire. You can't hold the belt and then not fight the biggest contender, because I don't need that. I don't need to do it. I'm John Jones. Look at all I've done. Canelo said that same thing, and that's a problem. Tyson Fury said that same thing. That was a problem. Tank saying that same thing. That's a problem. I don't care who you say it. I don't care how great you are. That's a problem. That's a bold-faced problem. And you're moving like a bump. You're moving like a bump. In fact, this lack of you taking the fight diminished the greatness that your resume already has, because you willingly ducked who should have been your biggest op. That was right there. You did that. That's a problem. History is going to say you ran from Tom Aspinall, and rightfully so, because you ran from that brother. Didn't even attempt to try. Ignorant, stupid, utterly ridiculous. Said like you high on the hog, like you earned the right to sit on a throne and not defend it. You ignorant bump. I don't care how great you are. You don't do that. You don't. You don't. Especially if we expect greatness. You don't do it. And you did it because you thought you were bigger than the champion. You thought you were bigger than the sport. You thought you were bigger than the test. Legacy doesn't give you a pass. Legacy just defines who you are. Legacy sets a reputation. Legacy sets a precedent. Legacy sets greatness. But you don't do that. You don't. And it's just, it's for, no, hold on, let me see. No, let me see. John Jones did his thing. They always have the next one that's going to beat you. They will never let you retire. Respectfully, no, respectfully disagree. So, again, here's the thing. Here's the thing. This would be different. I get what you're saying, but that doesn't apply in this context. For me, because of the fact that John Jones won the title against Cyril Gane. Incredible performance. Submitted him in less than 2 minutes. Great. He defended the belt. He held on to the belt. He has not fought in the ring since to defend the belt against anybody, not even against anybody of his own choosing, against anybody. Roughly, just about. In fact, let me make sure. Let me make sure. Because like I said, I want to make sure I'm saying the right stuff when it comes to the tracking of John Jones's career. because if I have his career correctly, he won. His last fight was against Gon. Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry. His last fight, I'm sorry. Stipe. His last fight was a KO win against Stipe. KO win against Stipe. Not Gon, Stipe. Great. Phenomenal. Last fight was a TKO win against what was perceived to be, and from a greatness standpoint, the greatest heavyweight champion of UFC's history. In Stipe Miocic. Hopefully I'm saying his name correctly. But Stipe, as most people know, phenomenal, incredible. Same buddy that beat Daniel Cormier. I think was he the same buddy that the first time beat Francis Ngannou before Ngannou knocked him out the second time around? Let me make sure. So I'm not talking crazy. I don't know what. Shoot, I don't know why I can't pull up the resume now. Hold on now. Wait a minute. I just want to pull up the resume. I'm trying to pull up the resume of both fighters. Come on now. Don't do this to me. Either way, same buddy who fought Ngannou and had been, at that point in time, one of the best, or solidified himself as the best heavyweight in UFC's history. John Jones beat him. We love that, absolutely. But the issue is still, after that fight, we got the belt, retained the belt, absolutely did what he needed to do. But at the same time, he didn't fight. He never beat Ngannou. Ngannou beat him. And that's when Ngannou really came. No, I'm sorry. No, I'm wrong. He did beat him. Stipe did beat Ngannou. Then beat Daniel Cormier after losing to getting Daniel Cormier the first time. Beat him twice over. Then lost to Francis Ngannou. Then lost to John Jones. My apologies. That's been the resume. But after he beat Stipe, John Jones then held on to the title for over a year. Now, I get it. He doesn't have to fight anybody from the standpoint of his greatness is set. And yes, the next big thing is the next big thing. But at the same time, if you have the title, old or not, we are calling for you to defend it against the people that deserve it. It would be different if it was just anybody under the sun calling him out. And it's like, fight, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. All these folks, hey, brother, we get it. It's like if Pacquiao beats Barrios. Incredible feat. And now we're saying, okay, for Pacquiao to be great, he's got to fight Brian Norman, Bruce Ennis, clean out the whole division, then move up to 154. No, I'm not saying that. But I am saying, if Pacquiao did win the title and held on to it for a year without fighting Brian Norman Jr., who deserved the shot at winning the belts to become unified, because you are reigning champion. That's not us trying to say it's always going to be another, or, it's never enough. We're keeping the same vein that we've been saying with anybody who holds the belts. Your legacy only gets bolstered, yes, by you being a title holder, but you still have to defend that title. You cannot hold the division hostage, regardless of how great your legacy is, and not give deserving people the opportunity to fight for the title that you rightfully earned. You can't just sit there. You can't. You fought Stipe. Great. Big threat, just like Tom Aspinall. Now that you fought Stipe and you beat him, and then Stipe retired, the only other viable champion who right now is the interim champion is Tom Aspinall, who has been gunning for you because you are the legitimate title holder. He is a interim titleist, but he has no claim to the real title because you hold the actual title. You hold the literal lineal championship. It's not Aspinall's fault that he's saying, give me a shot at getting the actual belt because I'm in a position to actually deservedly be there to fight for it. And then you are teasing, yes, we're going to do it. No, we're not going to do it. Yes, we're going to do it. No, we're not going to do it. We're in talks. Now we're out of talks. We're there, but we're not. It's a problem. And Lewis retired with the belts. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Absolutely he did. But he fought Tyson. And he fought most of the other people in the division. And it wasn't that long that he held out hope. Or essentially, from what I remember, it wasn't this much of a cat and mouse game of Willie Woney when he retired. After he beat Tyson, after he handled his business, after he became undisputed, and all that stuff. It wasn't this long of a Willie Woney, of Willie fight the other guy that's deserving, who is the definitive number one person that should be next in line, that has earned the right. It wasn't a cat and mouse game. He said, hey, I'm done. And he was done. Time moved on. This was a fight that should have already happened earlier this year. It should have. But the fact that it hasn't, and he kept on saying, if the money's there, I'll fight him. If the money's right, I will fight him. He was placating as if he was going to fight again. And stopping, because of those talks, was stopping Aspinall from being able to concretely go through and defend his interim title against the other people. Because the biggest thing that the fans wanted and that the fighters want was to fight Tom Aspinall. This was the only fight that the fans wanted to see in the heavyweight division. That Jones kept on teasing, we are going to make it happen if the money's right. And then it seemed like the money was going to be right. And then he kept on walking away. Every other, similar to Tyson Fury, every single thing with John Jones was an excuse to not take that fight. When it was the only fight that anybody felt, yes, make it happen. And it was the only fight that seemed to be deserving that, yes, this needs to happen. This ain't just some other hope that can beat him. Brother, if you are the reigning legitimate title holder, you have to defend your title against this other brother who is in a rightful spot to say, let's see who's the best heavyweight in the world. Because it's only these two names. And you are more than capable of beating him, but you got to beat him because now he's here. And the fact that you didn't do it is, for me, it's problematic. Again, how you feel may be different, but for me, nah, I got to hold this against him. I got to hold it against him. Loma, I had a problem with him when he was holding the belts. Hey, brother, are you coming back or are you going to retire? Give us an update on your health. Give us an update on your back. Give us an update on your injury. What is it that you are going to be? So we know, can we talk about you and Shakur? Can we talk about you and Tank? Can we talk about you and Schofield? Can we talk about you and Abdullah Mason? Defending these belts, not to hold these belts hostage. Because you got other people that are getting in line to deserve a shot, and you ain't here. What are you going to do? Are you going to be here or not? And he retired. Great. We move on. But holding the division hostage, not because of an injury, not because of any legitimate problems, not because of any outside forces, but because you, in fact, do not want to fight the guy. It's problematic that you were saying, I would beat him. It's me and him and nobody else. And then you're saying you can beat the brother, but you won't take the fight, but you're teasing the fight. That's an issue. That's stopping the division from moving forward. That's not helping the sport. It's not helping anybody's legacy. That's only stifling the full progression of everybody in the division being able to say, okay, who's the real number one that we're gunning for? And it wastes people's time. And so I'm just, for me, I completely disagree. And wholeheartedly, I feel that Jones wasn't wrong in this situation. And I'm not trying to, again, you know me, I don't do biased stuff. I've already given Jones his credit. I already know how great Jones is. He's legitimately the greatest UFC fighter ever. I'm dead serious. He is genuinely one of the baddest men to ever walk this planet. And he deserves all the respect that he is as a champion, as a great, no question. But just like with everybody else, I can't not keep the same consistency that I've had with other fighters across sports. As I've had, like with Usyk, like with Fury, like with Canelo, like with Tank. I can't have that. Even like with Loma, I can't have that with them and not do it this time because the pattern is still following the pattern. It's not about you it's not about you saying it's always going to be another one. It's about you saying you are at the top and you're touting you can beat everybody else. And then when somebody else is now saying, hey, okay, beat this cat, now you're walking away. With Ali, sure. Everybody's always somebody. Yes, he did complain about it, as you said about it in your thing. But he fought until he couldn't fight. He stayed in the game too long, partially because he just loved the sport. Some speculated that it was because of also some financial issues, but now I can speculate. I'm not saying that's real or false. But also he just wanted to be in the game, and he was in the game for too long. But even still, he still fought him. As the champ, he still fought everybody that was saying, all right, is this guy up? And to a degree, that's a part of the game. From the standpoint of, if you are the champion, no matter how great your legacy is, when does the belt at what point in time? If you're saying, okay, he doesn't have to do anything because his legacy already set in stone. If you are still an active fighter and you're still with all the legacy of a John Jones, but you're still reigning and calling yourself, rightfully so, the best man on the planet, at what point in time does it now become time that you have to defend it? To where it's not, okay, it's just the next guy up, but it's, okay, yeah, it's now, this is the time to go and do it. Because if you say it's always somebody, I ask you, when is it deserving that argument now becomes null and void? What's the cutoff of it's always somebody versus, yes, this is the fight that needs to happen? What's the cutoff? If you got the belt, what's the cutoff of you being a champion that deserves to be a champion and not be forced to have to fight the next it guy versus you're a champion, now go and defend the belt against the next best guy? What's the line of demarcation to when one falls into the other? What's the line? I'm not trying to be cynical. I'm trying to genuinely ask, what is the line that falls under so we can have a demarcation? So we can have the ability to see, okay, when can somebody just reign and reign without having to fight as often versus when somebody's got to do the work because they have the belt. Because if you got the belt, just like with anybody, from what I understand, you have to defend it. You got to. And it makes no sense not to. Because if that's the case, relinquish the belt. But if you got the belt and somebody's gunning for it, to me, I don't see the understanding of you can just hold on to it by proxy of your greatness. Because Canelo did that against David Benavidez. Tank is doing that now against anybody who's a contender. Because I don't need you. And it's problematic then, so I don't see why it's problematic. Let's see. John Jones already KO'd far better opponents than Tom Aspinall. Yes, he did. But we're not talking about that. They aren't here. They're not competing. Daniel Cormier's retired. Huh? Cormier's gone. Serial God is gone. I can go through his division. Cyril Gahn's gone. Daniel Cormier's gone. Stipe's gone. You got people Ngannou isn't in the division anymore. Though that fight, it should have been a great fight, but Dana White didn't pay the brother what he deserved and gave him the adequate and understandable level of incentives that would have benefited him and the rest of the UFC landscape with insurance and other things. So that fight's no longer happening. Rashad Evans is retired. Chael Sonnen is retired. Belfort's retired. Gustafson's retired. Glover Teixeira's retired. All these people that you're saying he's beaten before, Rampage Jackson, he's retired. All these names are great. And he beat them. But we're not talking about that. Because they're not here. Like I said, your legacy is your legacy. But that's not your future. And if you're a champ, you beating all of them is great. But that doesn't dictate that all of a sudden, yeah, now you can beat, or now you don't have to fight the next step for the belt if you got the belt. You still gotta beat the next guy who is seen as a credible threat to you. You can't do it. Because if that's the case, everything I've said about Canelo is completely up in smoke. If that's the case, everything I've said about Canelo is completely null and void. Everything I've said about the likes of Tyson Fury was completely null and void. Everything I've said about Tank is completely null and void. If that's the case. And we know that's not the case because you all agree with me. Like I said, I'm staying consistent. I'm not trying to go a way that ain't what I've been saying. I've been saying this. I'm not trying to go another way. I'm not trying to flip-flop. I'm doing and saying what I've been doing and saying for anybody in the boxing world, anybody in the combat sports world. The tune ain't changed, though the man and the sport is different. You can beat greater fighters. But after you beat them, brother, if you are the champ, your responsibility is to defend the title. Regardless of what your legacy looks like, you are still the champion. And you can't not just hold on to that belt without going through and fighting the next great champion. You can't. Because if you're going to do that, retire. Which I completely understand. But if you ain't retired, you're saying the work ain't done. And if you're saying the work ain't done, that means that you still believe you want to reign. And if you still want to reign, well, guess what? You still got to fight the people that are challenging you. No matter if they're better or worse than the people that you faced off before, they're here now. You got to do it. For me, you have to do it. And so the cutoff is the man. The cutoff is so if the cutoff is the man, retire. Perfectly fine. We don't have to talk about it no more. But if that's the cutoff, if the cutoff for defending the belt versus saying you don't got to do it anymore. If the cutoff is to not have to have that argument of it's always going to be another one, is you retire. Perfectly fine. In the midst of you being active, then that means that there's still work to be done. We can agree on that. And so because of that, to me shows distinctly that with Jon Jones in his career, he's done all the work. We love it. But if he was still active for the amount of time up until a week ago when he officially said I'm done, and him not fighting Tom Aspinall, who was the only other viable and deserving and credible threat to Jon Jones, though we can say Jon Jones is better, no problem. The fact that you did not, when everything seemed like you would get at least close to what you have been asking for financially, And yet you still did not take that opportunity as a reigning champion. And you also weren't looking at any other contenders, mind you, to even get to the negotiation table, because nobody else was even worth your time, which we all also agreed. Nobody else was worth your time at the heavyweight division except for Tom Aspinall. And you walk into negotiations and you are acting like Tyson Fury, playing games and jumping in and out, was the only widely accepted, acknowledged threat that you and Jones and us, the fans, all said yes. This is the only fight that John Jones should be looking at next and nobody else. And you placated up until you just said, I'm done. And you still never got the deal done for idiotic reasons, genuinely idiotic reasons. There's nothing else I can say except for you ducked your biggest op. There's nothing else I can say. Your legacy is still your legacy, but you ducked who you should have fought because they were right there and you reigned. You were active. You were talking. You were in the negotiations. He agreed to whatever you wanted. And it didn't do it. So it's like it's problematic. For me, it's, again, that's just my opinion. But he ducked. And he messed this up. And this is on Jones. No matter what his career says, and it's always going to be great. He did, in fact, not fight Tom when he was active, when he was reigning, and when he should have fought him. Because, like Al Booker just said, the markation of when you shouldn't have to be called out by people no more versus when you have to keep on defending the belt if you're a champion is until you retire. You got work to do. And because we agree on that, then that means that this has to be consistent. And John Jones, you did not do that, and you didn't answer the call. You retired now. And okay, we can put it to bed now. But beforehand, you messed up. You messed up. I'm telling you, you messed up. I truly believe he messed up and he ducked. And for me, he messed up and he messed up. And he's bowing out and giving up the belt. And then already declared, yeah. And again, I acknowledge this. I acknowledge he retired. Thank gosh. Division can move forward. We love it. I was happy. We don't have to play the game of Willie Won't he. We don't got to ask no questions. He's done. Tom Aspinall's the full champ. Next guy, Tom, now it's your turn. Defend the belt against the best next to belt. Let's see you back in the ring. Move the division forward. Let's go. Love it. Now that he's retired, we don't have to talk about it. The issue was when he wasn't. During this whole saga, he stopped the momentum. That's what I'm saying. I acknowledged before this whole take that John Jones retired, and we can put this argument to bed because he no longer has to be called out because he's done. I tried to make sure I say that before I said any of this. If I didn't, I'm sorry. I was meant to say that before any of this. He's retired. He's done. There's no more qualms. No more calling out. None of that. His legacy's set. He's done. His greatness is now complete. The book is closed. And we all love it. But when the book was open, I'm saying he did not take it. When the book was open, he then stopped writing. That's when I have a problem. You stopped writing, but you kept telling people that there's still chapters to be written. That's where the contradiction, while you were still active, that's where it takes place, and that's where I got a problem. Once you said, I'm done, okay, yeah, now, no problem, you're done, great. But if you're still saying there's another chapter in this book, and you stop writing, that's when there's a problem. That's when we have to say, hey, brother, you ain't doing what you're supposed to do. And we can have it. And say, yeah, I must have missed it if you had said it earlier. That was my only point. Okay, yeah, see, yeah, so I did say that. I made sure I said it. I think when I led into the topic, I was like, hey, when leading into the UFC, I said, oh, and by the way, John Jones is retired. Thank the Lord. Thank gosh, the division can move forward now. And we can see Aspinall being the full champ, defend the belt and go. Perfectly fine. Love it. So I tried to make sure I acknowledge it. Like I said, I tried to cover all my bases before I go into any take to make sure all context is given. I apologize if I didn't do that clear enough. That's my fault. Full disclaimer. But that's what I was trying to say. So hopefully that makes more sense. Hopefully that gets everybody involved. And hopefully that clears some things up. Absolutely. So we're on the same page. We are. We're on the same page. I think we are now. And you get fully what I was trying to get at. It was while active, not after retirement. Hey, come back. You still ain't fight Tom. No, you're done. You're done. You're done. And we don't got to forget Tom. Your career's done. You retired. Go home. Great. My own thing was while active, I had a problem. Now, fully inactive, I can put it to bed. No question. So we're on the same page with that front, thankfully. So I think everybody understands now. But now we are officially going to call it because it's almost 4 hours into this show and we got to get it. So please, if you want to support the channel, Cash App, PayPal, links in the description as well. Go and give to the show if you like what you heard. If you want to support and keep on keeping the lights on and making this show better and better by helping to invest back into this show, this is the best way to do it. We are almost close to super chats in the chat. We can't wait for that to happen. Absolutely. Hey, we're almost there. With your support, we can get there. Maybe in a week or two. Absolutely. But with all of that being said, this has been another episode of The Welch Report with me, your host, Jean-Luc Welch. Thank you so much for tuning in and listening to the show. We appreciate your time. We appreciate your energy. We're glad that you're here. We've had a phenomenal talk. Had to talk about a whole plethora of things. Please go ahead. Leave a like on the stream before you leave. Comment your thoughts and opinions in the chat of what you liked and didn't like about the show in the comment sections. Once the show is over, go ahead, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Hit the notification bell so you know whenever we post on this show and for every single show that we do going forward, you're always informed of what we got going on right here on The Welch Report. And share the show with everybody that you can, or everybody that you know, so we can keep on building on this empire together. Listen to us on every podcasting platform as we're on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Tell us we're there. Absolutely. And if we're not on the platform, tell us and we'll get there absolutely. I've been Jean-Luc Welch. Y'all have been wonderful. Peace and love. Oh, we are out of here. Yes, sir. And we're going to see you all on Thursday. Oh, one more thing. We're not going to do a show on Friday. Just so you know. We're going to have ourselves a good old gathering over next week. And so, not going to be able to do a show on Friday. We're going to be gone. I'm going to be gone. We're going to be out of here. So we ain't going to be able to do a show on Friday, sadly. But still, Thursday, going to have a great show. Probably is going to do a full-blown championship rounds on Thursday instead of Friday and let you all drive the conversation so you can still get that full breadth of ability. But Friday, not going to have a show. Thursday, we will have a show. So be here on Thursday. We're going to have a time. It's going to be great. Can't wait to see you all. And we're going to see you all on Thursday. No question about it. Peace and love. We out.